This is the quietest we've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because usually we're making a lot of jokes and talking constantly.
Yeah, we are.
Well, I'm glad that's over.
Yeah, so am I.
Only took 15 years for us to run out of things to say.
Don't know what to say anymore.
Yeah, that is how long we've been doing the show.
So it is.
Duke's got some weird energy about him tonight. I'm not sure about it. So we'll just carry
Duke
on.
always has some weird energy about
That's
him.
true. That's true. Okay, I'm ready. Let's start whenever we're ready. The show, starts. Let's go.
It's very strange what Eric picks like as a sound effect. Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
That was a sound effect that totally threw me out. Oh my god.
Fellas will tell you about every single game that you play this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick.
Kiss my big free feel behind, Shelbyville. I am invincible! Invincible! You
It's the veteran gamers.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Okay then.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Welcome, please, Enormous Genitals.
Hello and welcome to episode 721 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, 721. What up, people? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
And this is a video game podcast where we talk about video games every week. We've been doing this for quite a while, haven't we?
Oh, yes.
We have.
Yes, we have.
We talk about the games, but we're not military
Yeah.
veterans.
No, we're
just
not.
Gaming people.
It's funny because that's usually the thing I say.
Yeah.
But Chinny said it this week.
I don't know what's wrong with Duke. He's got a weird energy.
I'll explain it soon. Don't you worry.
He's acting
There's a
all
reason
kinds
for
of
this.
strange.
Though it be madness, yet there may be a method in it.
I think there's a mental
Wow.
breakdown coming. Right.
That's
Yeah, I
Hamlet said
do.
to
I think it's
Polonius,
already
or
happened.
about
What are you
Polonius.
talking about?
Said it to the audience.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
what's good, people? How's the baby?
The baby is babying.
Yeah.
Tara
Good.
woke me up yesterday morning. She said, "Can you change the nappy?" I said, "Yes, of course." Change the nappy. 2 minutes later. Change the nappy again. 2 minutes later. That's
Oh, no.
3 nappies in 10 minutes.
Well, you know, it reminds me of Aziz
Oh,
Ansari when he's talking about his friends calling him up and telling him about their babies, and
Yeah.
he can't stand that. And then he talks about how they're sending him emails.
Hate those phone calls. Also hate those emails. Your friends send these emails. They'll attach a photo of the baby. They'll write something cute to welcome the baby. Hey everyone, welcome Lindsay to the universe. Always just write back, unsubscribe.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, because I'm one of those people now.
Yeah.
You
I
are.
did not sign
You
up for this
are.
mailing list.
All right. Okay,
Anyway,
I've got to do this. I've got to
yeah.
do this.
Well, what have you
Recording
gotta
in progress.
do? Oh, I see what you got
Oh,
to do.
yeah.
Recording in progress. So I've had a weird week, and well, it's not that
Uh-oh,
weird.
Stu's
well,
got a story.
let's all
Here we
move on then, I
go.
suppose.
Yeah, there's no time to say now.
For a story, a very special story, especially for you. It's time for a story. It's time for a story. Sit down and listen now. Don't be a Jew.
So we went to a stand-up comedy night on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I know you've had exciting times with the newborn Chinny, but Stu went to a stand.
Yeah, it's something.
Go ahead.
Well, we've
Stu,
had enough
who-
baby stuff.
who
We've had
did you
enough of the
see
baby stuff.
stand-
Stu,
Standing
did you just look at yourself in the mirror? Hey?
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
it's hilarious. No, it was only at a local little club
Jimmy Carr?
place. No,
Was
there
it
was
James
no
Bevan? Because he's
It
in
wasn't
the chat.
Russell Brand, was it?
Maybe
Because
it
I
was
hear
in
he's up to
James
no
Bevan.
good.
Yeah, no, it was
The first person to tell you that Russell Brand was up to no good was Russell Brand, by the way. I don't know why it was a big shock.
Yeah,
He was the guy
exactly.
who told you about it. Anyway, yeah, who did you see? Who did you see?
So we just saw a bunch of I guess they were amateur comedians. I don't know. They maybe got paid. Who knows? So it's in this little place called Southport Bijou Cinema, but they have like a comedy night once a month. So they have like six comics and a
Yep.
compere, and it was £6. It was £1 a comedian. And
Yep.
I'll be honest, I feel like it was just about worth £1. a
Wow.
comedian. They weren't great. They weren't great, right?
You buy cheap, you buy twice, Stu.
I know. Well,
Yeah,
there
really.
was one guy
Value for
who
money.
was absolutely hilarious. And
So
I
you
wish
did
he
get your £6 for
Well, I guess I wish they just had him on all night. It was called Lawrence Tuck. It was called.
All right, you heard it here, people. Lawrence Tuck's the next top
Lawrence
comedian.
Tuck, and he was very. I cried a couple of times. I was laughing that much. He
Wow,
was
give us an
very, very
example
funny.
of something he made jokes about.
He made jokes. He was
Fuck
quite
up
a
his
weird
jokes. Go on,
comedian.
Stu.
It was quite well. He didn't really do jokes, but he
He made me laugh, but he
at the end he said, "I'm going to read you something now. I'm going to read you." And he got this piece of paper out of his pocket, right? And he was a weird looking bloke. He was like dressed with weird beret on and all this stuff, and he had a weird voice. He said, "I don't want to be getting too dark here, but this is my suicide note." Because
Hilarious.
because
I'm wiping
I've
away
got
tears of laughter already.
because I've got unrequited love for one of my neighbours, and then he talks about hiding in the bushes and all this kind of stuff, and he basically talks about how every time he tried to kill himself, it went wrong, and he didn't manage to actually kill himself, right? But then he said, so what I decided to do then was save up and buy a ticket to Hollywood. So I could go on the next set of Alec Baldwin's production. Right.
I see.
Which was pretty
Because
funny.
he
right?
shot and killed somebody by
right?
accident.
And he said,
And
and,
so
then,
he's.
and then if that doesn't work, I'm going to hide in Oscar Pistorius's bathroom. So
Yeah, you're right. This sounds like about a 50p
It was-
comedian to me.
it was funny.
Wow, timely
was
stuff
funny.
there. Like,
Yeah, it was.
did you do any Monica Lewinsky jokes or?
No, he didn't, but it was funny. I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
funny. It was
I can't kill myself,
compared to
so
the other guys.
I'm going to
But-
start hanging out with O.J.
Stalking
Simpson.
my neighbor and trying to
Yeah, exactly. I like
scare
that.
her into loving me.
You
and I want to
had to have
die.
been there. You had to have been there. It's funny. But
I guess so.
then they had this head who was supposedly the headliner. Right? They had a headliner comedian.
Right.
And he was called
We talked about killing many other people.
No.
not
It
just
was
himself.
worse than that. So
Turns out Stu just went to an ISIS meeting.
yeah. So,
I didn't realize they had just meetings.
See, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
funny. I'll be
Possibly
honest. This
advertised.
is funnier than the comedians were. But he was called Percy Savage, right? And about halfway through his set, he made a joke about pegging, right? And the
Okay.
bloke in front of us, in a very loud voice, said to his wife, "What's pegging?" It's really loudly, right?
Yeah.
And the comedian sort of went, "You what?"
For those who don't know, pegging is when a woman puts on a strap-on dildo and penetrates the man from behind. Go on,
So
sir.
there you go.
That
just
is
in
what it
case.
is. Like, I
Just
don't know
in
why I'm
case you
laughing.
didn't
That's
know.
all it is.
Just in case you didn't know. So he said to the guy, he said, do you know what it is? And he's like, "No." And he went, "Oh. Well, does your wife know what it is?" So his wife's like, and she was being a bit weird, like,
That's a
and
yes.
then there was another couple in front of them, right? And he said, "Do you know what pegging is?" And then he started asking all these audience members if they knew what pegging was, right? Because his joke fell flat. And then it was obviously asking it. So, and this woman, and he said to this guy, "Do you know what pegging is?" And he's like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't know what it is either, right?" And he went, "Does
So
your
you're
wife
at a
know?"
comedy club with a whole bunch of prudes. Go on.
Yeah. And he said, "Does your wife
Ignorant
know?
prudes,
Does your
'cause, I
wife
mean,
know
I'm
what
not into
pegging
it,
is,
but
right?"
I know what
and he
it
went,
is.
"She's not my wife," and got really stroppy with him, right? He's like, "She's not my wife." And then
My wife.
And then at the end of his set, he went, "Well, on that, what did he say? I can't remember now, but it was some
That
really,
rectal note.
it was that some really sarcastic, like, well, on that, like, minor titter, I think I'll finish there, or something like that. He got a bit stroppy with
Did he
the
bomb?
audience.
Did he
Sounds
bomb?
Great.
He bombed big
Sounds
time.
like he bombed.
And then he got
Yeah.
stroppy with the audience because he weren't laughing. But like Lawrence Tuck,
See, you
everybody was
can't do that,
laughing.
man. I'm sorry. Look, I'm not a stand-up comedian, okay? But I do know something about trying to make a room of people laugh unsuccessfully. Okay, I know what that's like. All day, every day, 3 times a day, 3.5 times a day. You can't get mad at them. Like, that's
No.
just a recipe for disaster. Now, Bill Hicks is the exception to that rule because he's very funny when he gets mad at the audience. But everybody else,
No.
Don't
But
get mad at the audience.
But one of the earlier woman comedian who was on at the beginning, she wasn't very funny.
A
but
woman
she did,
comedian.
A woman. There was a couple
Why
of female
would they start
comedians.
letting women be comedians?
She also wasn't very funny, but
Because she's a woman.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
because
really.
she was a woman.
Yeah.
But she did make quite a funny quip where she said, and it wasn't very full, right? It was only about half full, the place, right? And she said,
Because people said, "What, £6
yeah,
to see
what is
5
this?
comedians? That's not going to be worth it. Let's stay away."
She said, "Yeah, my agent, she does everything I tell her. She's really, really good. I asked her to get me a half-filled venue, and here we are."
Jesus Christ.
That was about the best joke
This is
she
a
did.
rough bloody gig.
It was a rough gig.
the Duchess and I watched a comedian named Taylor Tomlinson on Netflix. She has 2 specials. One's called Quarter Life Crisis, and the other called Look at You. And if you watch the special, you'll get that intonation. Look at you. I'm not going to explain it because a lot of times it's not funny when you try to explain someone else's jokes. But
Stu
yeah.
tried.
Anyway, she's awesome.
I tried, and
didn't
it
want
wasn't
to say
very funny.
anything
It
by
wasn't
name,
very
but
funny.
yes. Right. Anyway,
Remember
Taylor
when
Tomlinson.
Stu
She's
was
awesome. Check her
describing
out.
the
She's very
jokes and
funny.
it was awful? Remember that?
Yeah, it was.
It
awful.
was, but that's the kind of people we are. On the Loud American, you're the sort of deadpan guy
There
with
was-
the baby, and
there was-
Stu is the dude who goes on and on with stories and long.
There
Island.
was-
He's doing
there
something
was-
again. It's really bothering me what he's doing. I don't know what Duke's doing.
There was one
he's high
guy-
or something. I don't know what's going on.
You'll see. No, I'm not high.
Okay.
I'm high on
Okay.
life and chocolate. Go ahead, Stu.
God. There was one guy who at the beginning of his set I thought he's going to be funny because he was quite funny at the beginning of his set because he had ginger hair, right? And he stood up and he went,
You know that? That is almost
As
what
we
I
all know, all gingers are.
No,
No,
funny.
listen,
no. Honestly,
listen.
I thought
Oh,
she was
hey,
going to
ginger
say.
balls.
I thought she was going to say something almost as worse, if not worse. He was going to say, "I thought this guy was going to be funny because he was black." You know, and we all know
no,
black people are funny.
no, you didn't
I would
let
never
me
say
finish
that. Now,
my
ginger
sentence,
people.
hence
Go
why,
ahead, Stu.
why I
Finish
thought
your
it was
sentence.
going to be funny,
Okay, go ahead.
right?
Okay, sorry.
So he stood up and he had ginger hair and he went,
Yeah.
"You might recognize me. I'm the gay kid that you used to bully at school." Like this, right? And everyone laughed and then he went, "Or you might recognize me. I'm the ginger kid you used to bully at school." And then he went, "Or you might recognize me.
I'm the gay ginger.
I'm the goth kid you used to bully at school." And then that was the start. And I thought, that's
Jesus.
quite pretty funny. And then
Jesus.
he went like quickly downhill. It wasn't good
Downhill
overall.
from there.
It was
Yeah.
downhill from
Well,
there.
I'm sorry you didn't get a great show for your money. I don't
No.
go to amateur comedy or improv stuff anymore. I had some friends that did an improv group in town, and I enjoyed supporting them. And, it's funny as far as it went, but I was always glad I didn't pay very much. And at this point, my time is so precious. I don't go see bands I never heard of. I don't go see comedy shows with people I don't know. It's folks that I know well. We saw Samantha Bee recently. She was very funny. And that's it.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't very much money, so it wasn't a great
But it
loss.
was an hour of your life you'll never get back.
Well, it was more than that. It was
Well,
two
there
and a
you
half,
go.
two and a
See,
bit
let's
hours
pay
of
me in
my
time,
life. I'll
man.
never get back.
Pay me in time. That's all I'm all
Two and a
about.
bit hours.
All right, Chinny, you got a story?
No, just changing a lot of fucking shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
I had a
changing
horrible
nappies.
goddamn end of the week. Existential crisis at the ass because I see people
Wow.
being successful with their writing, and that's awesome for them. I really am
Oh,
happy for
no.
other people, but it reminds me of all the failure I've had in terms of getting fiction published. But you know what? It lasts a day or two, and then it takes care of itself.
Duke,
now I'm
all
back
the
to manic, so woohoo!
Duke, remember, it's all the failure.
You say one thing about goddamn what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And how many
No,
times J.K. Rowling got
wasn't
rejected,
gonna-
I'm going to
wasn't
stab you in
gonna
the
say
face.
that.
Go
Makes
ahead,
you
bet
stronger.
not.
It makes you stronger, Duke.
No, I said
Shut
all
up.
all the failure that you've had so far.
Yeah, exactly. Right. There you go. It's a nice Simpsons reference. I love
There
it.
you go.
But see, that's the thing. I'm reaching a point where I'm just like, fuck it. I'd rather just put it out myself, spend my time marketing it, spend my time writing other shit, and to hell with the world of legit publishing. Anyway, that's not why we're here.
Worst podcast ever.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yes. I don't think I have any other stories.
Hold on, there's something- there's
I
something.
did have. So the last thing I'll say, I have this tie. Okay.
Okay.
I bought it for 50 cents at a charity shop, as you call it, right? We call it Goodwill, yeah.
Mhm.
So I wrote Hollister on it with a marker, a biro, I guess you'd call it.
Okay.
And I wore it, but then nobody said anything about it because it was black on dark green, and I realized people couldn't see Hollister. Hollister is a brand that the kids were into for a while.
Right.
So I went over it in whiteout, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I found on the ground a Hollister tag, so I stapled that to the tie. I'm
Wow.
wearing this once upon a time, a few years ago, and this student goes, "Where'd you get that?" And I was like, "At the Hollister store." And she was like, "Oh, interesting." And then her friend was like, "Obviously, he made it. He wrote it with goddamn marker and whiteout." And she goes, "Huh? I was wondering because I work at the Hollister store." And I was like, "I don't remember us selling ties." And I was like, "Are you kidding me right now? What is wrong with you?" Anyway, Hollister is no longer in. Supreme is the brand that kids are into now,
Oh, yeah.
if they're into a brand at all. So I printed out the word Supreme in their logo, which is a ripoff of that woman who did the art in the 70s and 80s. Anyway, so I stapled that to the tie, and now it says Supreme on top of the Hollister. And then a student was like, "What's up with that tie?" And I was like, "Thank you for asking. Let's talk about it." And I was like, yada, yada, yada. And I wrote it, and I told the story about the lady who, whatever. And then this other student goes, "It kind of looks like it could be professionally made." I'm like, "What is wrong with you? In no way does this thing look like it's got paper stapled on it. Like it's the ugliest fucking tie you'd ever seen. It looks like I have some sort of horrible mental problem."
Let
Anyway.
me just check.
Looks like-
you were this
Yeah.
to school in a
Yes.
professional capacity.
Yes.
As a
and
teacher.
99% of the students say nothing about it, which is the horrifying part. Like I
Wow.
often wear ties with like Van Gogh paintings and like, pictures of books and stuff. And I come in with this goddamn psychopathic tie and nobody says a word. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Why aren't you throwing things at me right now? Anyway, this other dude, after this conversation's happened right near him, he goes, "Hey, Mr. P, do you like John Deere?" Which is a brand of tractors.
That is
And I was
correct.
like-
They sell them in this country. Yeah, John
I
Deere
was like,
tractors.
No, not any more or less than any other brand. Why do you ask? And he goes, "'Cause the tie is like green, and I thought maybe it was the."
Wow.
I'm just like, what kind of question is that? Do you look at everything that's green? I bet they like John Deere. It's just, God damn
Maybe
it.
he came from an agricultural community.
No.
You know.
Well, first of all, sort of, but not really. It's just that a lot of students just have these weird neurons firing in their brains, and like they see something blue and they're like, "Oh, Smurfs!" And it's like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Or maybe he'd been playing Farming Simulator 2023 before he came to class.
And meanwhile, the actual point I wanted to make about how stupid it is to pay money for something that just says a word, that always gets lost. Instead, we just argue about whether you would buy something that was written on with whiteout.
Now it makes me want to buy pointless stuff more.
Yeah, I want
Well, you go for it.
I want an actual Hollister tie now.
Well, they don't make them, so you have to make your own, like I did. Go to a
No.
charity shop and buy a tie for 50 quid.
See, your
or 50
advertising
pence.
of Hollister there has made me want to buy something from Hollister.
I see what you did there. See, listen, Chinny, remember last week when we were talking
Doesn't get
about
influenced
advertising?
by advertising.
Oh man,
you
that's-
got me. You got me
that
there,
takes me
dude.
back
You
to
got
last
me.
week when we talked about.
I thought
Oh.
about that. I was like, has he never been to like a Pizza Hut or a McDonald's? Obviously, it's influenced.
Well,
by
I
that.
have.
Yeah, because
But it
you
wasn't
only know
because of
about
the
those-
advertising, Chinny.
No.
It had
The
nothing to do
first-
with the advertising.
The first time I went to a McDonald's was in Wigan, and I didn't even know what it was, and we
Fuck
just
off.
went.
Yeah, but like,
honestly,
I'm talking about.
I was
And I
41 years old.
No, I wasn't. It was about
yeah, but
7.
it doesn't
I was
matter
about
if it's the
7
first
or
time or
8.
the 105th time. You
Well, I
go
already
to
knew
McDonald's
about it. I
because
didn't need
you're
an advert
advertised
to tell.
to.
I didn't know.
You are
You didn't need an
influenced
advert
by
to tell me about
advertising.
McDonald's.
I just think it's
I already
so.
knew
It's
about
so.
it.
I can't believe how arrogant you are, thinking like advertising has
Yeah,
never
him and every
affected me.
student I've ever
What are
worked
you
with.
talking
Same
about?
thing.
Of course
Yeah.
it has.
I fast forward
Anyway,
through
we're not
every
having this
advert,
fight
so I don't
again.
even watch them. So I'm supposed to be influenced someone that's going at 90
Oh
miles an
yeah,
hour.
you know what? We tried to explain it. If you don't want to hear it, okay, fine. Let's just move on.
And then bloody pop-ups, they're just fucking annoying.
So,
You
by the
can't
way,
even get to
Dick-
read some on the internet without seeing about
Yes,
20
Jimmy.
adverts.
Dick, I've just won the argument. I've just realised. Hold on. Right.
How?
Stu says he never gets influenced by advertising, right? And then buys every shiny game that comes out.
Yeah, but no.
But it's
I've
not because
just
of the
won.
advertising.
I've just
Jenny.
won.
It has nothing to do with the
I've just
advertising.
won.
No,
It's a
I've
pure
won.
coincidence.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
I just
much.
I
look at
spilled
what's
this
coming out.
Good night.
jar of water over. Why is my desk all wet?
Well, that's not-
in
that's not-
2005, when Stu saw that Alan
That's
Wake
not-
trailer and he juiced his pants, he fell into
that's true.
advertising.
What the hell do we even talk about on this show all
Well,
day?
that's E3. I get
Shut
where
up.
you're
E3
coming
isn't
from.
advertising related. How can you
Shut
bring up
up.
E3 in
You
a discussion
got
about
me, yeah.
advertising?
I told you,
When
I
you
won-
walk
I
in
won
the
it.
conference hall, it's not like you see any ads when you walk
No,
in.
True.
I told you, I won the
true,
argument.
yes.
It's over. All right, let's move on.
All right, we're not here to win arguments. We're here to uplift everyone's
No,
consciousness.
I'm here to win.
And you won. And
But,
you won the
but to be
conversation.
fair, I did wait for independent reviews of the game before.
That's,
I
you
made
know what? I
my
don't want to hear that
decision.
shit. You're still influenced by advertising.
What you been playing?
All right, who's starting?
Bullshit.
This is the part of the show. As you know, everybody, this is when we talk about, games we've been playing
Video
recently.
games. Video
See,
games.
Dick's doing it again. I don't know what it's
You'll
Yeah,
see
this-
why
I-
soon. Don't worry.
I was
So-
going to say, I still think
explain
there's
it
something
I haven't
sort of-
played the.
I'm just such a crazy kind of guy who often explains things.
I haven't played
Sorry, what were you gonna-
the playing my game, but it's because
You don't have to. Oh.
because Not because I don't want to play it, it's because I want to play it, and I wasn't ready to start.
But
Oh,
you wanna
I
give
get
it
what
the
you
time
mean.
it
Just want to
deserves.
play
Yeah,
it.
I actually want to
Generally
play
want
Dead
to play
Space
it.
Remake, so
Yes,
I haven't
fair,
played
fair
it.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Should we talk
It's
about
all right.
that then?
Go for
Well,
it.
yeah, we can do because like it's not going to spoil it for him. He knows what happens.
Well, yeah, it's Dead Space.
Spoil the remake.
Yeah, bitch. Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection. I always love listening to that little jingle I made a few years ago because it includes all of us in the jingle.
Oh God,
It does.
what is this?
This is how much I hate info dumping in movies and video games. We watched a movie called 57 Seconds. Have y'all seen this movie?
No.
Nope.
Don't watch it. It fucking sucks. Oh my God, 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. But we looked it up and it sounded interesting. Morgan Freeman. Okay, let's give it a shot. The whole first 20 minutes is just all info dumping. And in order to show rather than tell how much I hate info dumping, I figured I would do some info dumping at the start of the show. Right?
Yeah.
Info dumping.
What's this got to do with Dead Space Remake? I'm so confused.
Because there's a bunch of info dumping at the start of this game.
Yeah. There was in the first one, to be fair, but not quite as much.
Well, all I know is when you start this game up, it's like, man, we're almost to the Ishiguro. Man, are you watching that video of your wife again? Man, how many times has it been now? 57 times? Shut the fuck up. First of all, this manufactured bullshit about like, I gotta get home to my baby girl. Nobody cares. The same thing as in Transformers. Shut the hell up. I thought I was gonna watch monsters killing people. Nope. I gotta have this boring conversation about.
Can I just ask, did you play the Dead Space originally or not?
Yes.
Because it opens exactly the same, apart from
Well,
the
it's been a long
fact-
time, so I don't remember.
Apart from the fact that his crewmate's now a lesbian, because that wasn't in the first game. but
I
suddenly-
I thought that was probably changed. Which
Oh,
is
But I was
fucking
like,
woke shit taking
why?
over everything.
Bloody woke,
Why?
Why
Why
not?
does it have to be woke?
Why not?
Why? But if she wasn't
Why
in the
not?
first game, why does she have to be now?
So what?
Why do we have to? Ooh, let's have just a reference to lesbianism for no reason.
So you hate lesbianism then?
Yeah.
No, I hate
No, he
just
does. He does.
random references for
Remember
no
when-
reason.
Do you hate the fact that
whatsoever.
on the crew here is there's a white dude and a white woman and a black dude and an Asian guy?
I don't know.
That does
That's
bother
how
me
it was in
sometimes.
the original game. So that makes
I have
sense.
to admit, I'm like,
Well,
what are the chances
That
of
was
that?
that was the original game. That's
Well,
exactly how
that's
it
what
was.
Star
But
Trek did.
She
They were
wasn't a
trying to be-
lesbian in
have
the
one
first game.
person
Why does she
represent-
suddenly have to be a lesbian?
Why do
I
you
don't know.
care
tell
that
me.
they made it into a
Because
lesbian?
it's like, why? You don't have. Not every game has to have a lesbian or a.
Not
gay
every game
couple
has to have a
or every
heterosexual
game.
couple, but
Well,
there
no, it
always
doesn't,
is
but
one.
But there's no need to reference it at all because it didn't.
Why
get
is there a need to
referenced in-
reference straight
Yeah, was
couples?
there? I haven't played this, but was there an info dump of like, man, I love being a lesbian?
No, she just sound random.
No, but it was like she
"Oh,
was.
I'm
She
really
did
missing
say
my
something like, "Oh,
girlfriend."
I miss my girlfriend the way
Oh,
you miss your
God's
wife." Or something.
sake.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get
whatever.
any more bothered by her talking about her
I'm
girlfriend than
not
him
bothered
about
by
his
it,
wife.
but I'm just like, why?
sounds like you're
it's
bothered
like,
by
ooh,
it. You
does
spend
sound
No,
like
it's,
like you're
5
bothered
woke.
by
seconds
It's
arguing about it.
woke. It's woke, isn't it? It's like let's have it in there because
That word is often used when people get mad about like
Yeah.
things outside their own little life.
All right,
No,
Karen.
I'm not saying that's what you're doing,
but- All right, Karen.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just like it's needless. It's just like let's put it in there for the sake of it. It's just cynical. It's just like let's
Well,
have it in there.
Maybe somebody on the remake team was a lesbian. She's like, you know what? The original didn't have any references to my.
She gets
type
killed
of
in about
folks.
10. You barely see her in the rest of the game. So
I
what's
would
the
like to
point?
have a character who
Pointless.
talks about being a lesbian,
Ugh.
and maybe the people were like, all right, that's cool.
It has
whatever."
no value whatsoever apart from just having it.
It
in
has
there.
no less value than people talking about their heterosexual.
It didn't need it.
relationship.
There's no need. There was no need to
I
talk
think
about
I've
any
tried to make my
sexual
point. It's not
relationship
working.
of
Let's
any
just, let's just
orientation.
move on, shall we? Stu hates
Pointless.
lesbians. Go on.
Totally, I do. Yes, that's absolutely right, dude.
Did you know that this game was
Uh,
made by lesbians, Stu? Does that bother you?
It's exactly. Oh, that makes it all
it's
better.
just a total lesbian team.
It's a lesbian.
That's all
EA
better.
stands for. No, I'm not gonna go there.
A bunch
Okay,
of lesbians.
so I don't know how you get that from EA, but okay.
No, I don't. It doesn't even work.
So this game is about people who go into a spaceship and there's monsters everywhere and you have to fight the
Ah.
monsters. I hated the first one time I played it because it was too frustrating and you
very
walk
scary.
real slow and I died a million times. And this time I was like, ooh, I don't know if they had it on the first one, but you can put it on story mode and it's all very easy. And then I'm like, I'm still walking so slowly and I'm just like, it's just very frustrating. It's not the kind of game I like. I'm not into horror games.
So I'm
What
guessing you
about
didn't
if we
like
put
it.
a couple lesbians in it, Dick?
Yeah, what about that?
How many lesbians are we
Just
talking
sprinkle a few lesbians in there.
Yeah, yeah. What
Because
about
I hate games like
Would
this.
that
but
make
if
it
there were
better?
lesbians in them, then I'd be into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give my money to
honestly.
anything.
Just
Well,
one or two. Just put them in.
yeah, right.
Pointless. Anyway,
I don't remember that on the box though, Stu. Like Dead Space remake. Now with lesbians.
Now featuring lesbians.
I didn't
Now
know.
with lesbians, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have played it immediately.
It was in the first one. Let's add it in.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
let's just do that.
I'm sorry that I'm sorry that you're so shook about the lesbians, Stu.
I'm not shook. I just
Sorry
think
about
it's
Totally
just
shook.
very cynical. It's just.
I'd love to be in the room when
Yeah,
when,
Stu wants lesbian storytelling that has a purpose.
Yeah, it doesn't have any purpose. Mm.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's true about 20 other elements of the story here.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Right?
It's just the
I
point.
think
It's
your
just doing
problem,
it for the
Stu,
sake of doing
is that
it.
it wasn't
That's
in
what
the
annoys me.
original, and they've made it in the remake.
Right. And to give Stu his due,
No.
right.
No,
No,
the problem
they
is
threw it
it's for
in
the
as a way to
sake of-
try to appeal to gamers who
Yeah,
might not
it's
have
just for
been
the
seen
sake of it.
represented in the first one. And I look, if you
It's a
didn't
game
like
where you
Gone
kill
Home,
necromorphs.
I'm
most
trying to
of it.
speak up for you, Stu. If you didn't like
Christ.
Gone Home and Tacoma, then I might be like, Stu has a problem with it. But you don't. You have enjoyed other stories that have lesbians in them. So I'm just giving you stick. I'm not actually giving you a hard time.
I have no trouble with lesbians.
Right.
But the game is about killing monsters, right? It's not a.
Yeah, so they
deep,
shouldn't be talking
meaningful-
about their loved ones at all.
It's just about killing monsters. We're not bothered about.
Right. So let's
what
get to the
was.
killing of monsters. That's
Anyway.
the problem, is that there's too much prologue.
There is. There's too much shit
Right,
going
okay,
on.
good,
that
we
we
agree.
don't-
There's too much
Needless
prologue.
shit. Needless
Right.
shit.
Is the
Okay.
sorry? I'm sorry.
Thank you, Derek.
Sorry. Does the main character talk now? Does the main
No,
character talk?
yes, he does.
Yeah. Does he
Yeah.
at one point get in the lift and go, "Oh, I really missed that lesbian who died at the start of the game"? Does he say
as
that?
it
The whole
happens,
game,
can I just
all
say
he does is talk about lesbians.
she's not the. She's not. She doesn't die at the beginning of the game. But
Oh,
I'm
okay.
guessing now. Remember,
And
she
that's for
dies
my
at some
lesbian
point.
friend you killed.
I know.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly.
me. Yeah, well, your brother or whatever.
Do the necromorphs come up to her and go, "Oh no, we can't touch her. She's lesbian. We'll look like we're."
No, they're like, we must cleanse the universe for the return of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And he says in Leviticus that this is wrong. And then the Nelson or whatever his name is, he goes, what about shellfish? Because that's also forbidden in Leviticus. And they're like,
What about the fact that you couldn't eat meat on Fridays? Well, it was a long time ago.
You're not supposed to wear clothing that's made up of two different fabrics.
Oh well, you know, we don't read the fine print lesbians though.
All right, let's move on.
Sorry.
Enough of this lesbians.
Anyway,
So is the game good?
It looks pretty. I'll certainly say that.
they've definitely made it look very pretty. Although, right, I was looking at the sort of comparison stuff,
Yeah.
and I think the Necromorphs models look better in the original game than they do in this. I don't know. Somehow they look creepier than they do in this game.
Okay.
Oh, sweet. They've got it. Here we go. Here, I got it from 30 Rock.
Oh,
Here we
God,
go.
here we go.
Here we go. Come on, hurry up. Go.
Oh my, what an adorable little lesbian.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about video games, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
I don't remember bringing this up. Chinny, did you bring this up?
No, I didn't know. Okay, right. So yeah, I'm looking at the comparison video now. Stu, your argument was that the aliens look.
Yeah, there's a and by the
Too
way,
lesbian-y.
his girlfriend Nicole, they
Yeah.
made her really ugly. I don't know what's gone on there.
All right.
She looked fairly good looking in the original game. In this one, she
So
looks old and,
there's
old
too
and
many
ugly.
lesbians and the heterosexual women are not hot enough.
No,
Stu's
it's like what's happened, what's happened to
space
her?
remake.
She's suddenly an ugly. It's like ugly and haggard looking. What is happening?
Maybe they just
God.
roughed her up a bit, you know.
I think they did. I don't
She's
know what
been
they
through
did.
a lot. Her husband's killing zombies now.
Well, no, well, he hasn't
She
even
don't
got
know
that
that.
far yet.
Yeah, I know. I
He
don't know.
hasn't even got that far. But she's been chased by lots of zombies, we're guessing.
Yeah.
She's a very chaste
somewhere.
person.
Yeah, chased by lots of zombies. But yeah, I think the actual Necromorphs look better in the original game somehow. They look just creepier and weirder.
Sounds like you think everything was better in the original.
I think the original game was just better. No, this game's fine. Do you know what the problem is for me playing it again?
Too many lesbians.
No, I'm just too used to it.
You're too used
When-
to
You
it.
played it too much.
Yeah, when we played the first game,
Yeah.
it was all new, wasn't it? And all the jump scares were cool, and it was like, oh my god, that's not really dead, and it jumps up on you. But
Mm.
you kind of know what's coming, so it's almost
Well, yeah.
has lost its. Even though they made it look super cool, it's kind of lost its shock factor for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the dismemberment still looks cool, you know, and there's this cool when you reload the gun, there's this like cool wisp of smoke comes out of it as you do it, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of aesthetic niceness about this game, but
Yes.
I feel like this is better for the newer generation of gamers who never played the original or were too young at the time to play it than it is for people like us who played the original game and the second one as well.
It has been
So, okay,
like what?
Let me.
15 years when this came
It is a
out?
kind of
So the real question is,
does it hold up? Does it hold up?
But let me ask this question though, Stu. Is there any game that wouldn't be true about? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that any video game, like if you remade Portal 1 with shiny new graphics and stuff,
yeah, it won't make any
that wouldn't be
difference.
as magical or awesome.
No,
I mean, it's the same.
No, definitely. I definitely agree with you.
I guess
but
I assumed that going in. Like,
I am enjoying it. I played quite a few hours of it. You know, I got a fair way into the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool so far, and it does look amazing. I mean, compared to the first game, it looks incredible.
And the first game was a good-looking game when it
yeah,
came out,
definitely. I mean, even the first game, the way it animated and the way you moved as a character, it still looked really cool in the original game.
Yeah.
You don't get frustrated about how slowly you move?
No, that doesn't bother me because it's a slow-moving game, isn't it? You know what I mean? You don't.
I guess I just don't like slow-moving games. I am on record of having criticized the RoboCop game for moving too slowly.
You're not hurtling around.
I'm a busy
like
guy. I want
Todd.
people moving and popping.
You're
Let's
a busy
go.
guy,
Rocket
but you
League.
have the
I feel-
time to
I'm not
staple
being-
labels to your time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not being
That's
funny
for a
to you.
pedagogical purpose, Chinny.
I don't care if it's for a pedagogical.
I don't know what's going on tonight, but I feel like you're on amphetamines or something.
Yeah.
I don't
High
know
on
what
life
is
and
happening.
chocolate.
High on something.
Well, it often happens after a depressive episode. You swing back to manic, and it's like, woohoo!
Yeah, that is exactly how it feels.
It's like when you
Manic
get
is
over a
good
cold
word.
and you're like, spring.
Wow. I have no idea what's going on, Chinny. I don't know about you.
I think you're dwelling on it too much. I think Duke's just happy, and that's how it is. You know?
I am happy. I'm allowed to be happy. God damn it.
We just accept it.
Yeah.
We just accept it.
Move
but
on.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Overall,
Other
I
things
think
you like about this?
Dead Space remake is a big thumbs up from me. Even though the shock factor is not the same, and it does feel
It
at
never
the
will
moment
be
a
the
bit
same, though.
repetitive.
It never
A
will
bit
be the same.
repetitive. It does
Yeah.
look fucking cool.
You had to know
what I
that was going to be the case.
mean? Yeah.
Or did you think that maybe they had thrown new stuff in besides lesbians?
I don't know. I mean, it's so long since I played it. I thought I would remember less, but I remembered quite a lot. But then
Your
it's not
memory's
that
just awesome, is all.
Well, no, I think it's because I played Dead Space 2 not that long ago. It's only about a year ago since I played that again. So
really?
you kind of get into the rhythm of like shoot the limbs
That's
off
your
and
problem.
then stamp on
That's
them.
your problem, Stu. You played Dead Space 2 so recently, so it's like
the habits and the tropes of the
yeah,
game
you know how
developers
to
are already
play.
in
You
your
know how
head.
to game the game. Do you know what I mean?
the
You know
last
what
Dead
you do.
Space I played was 3, and I didn't finish it. So that was a long time ago. That was 10
Yeah.
years ago. So yeah.
Yeah, you see, it's not. I played that when I first got Game Pass. I played quite a lot of Dead Space 2 again.
Do you think the problem is that the game doesn't have a good enough tagline? Instead of Dead Space like remake, it should be like Dead Space lesbians this time.
Maybe Dead Space includes lesbians. I think
yeah.
that's what it should be called.
Are there any homosexuals?
Not that I'm aware of. Well, a lesbian is in fact a homosexual.
I understand
so-
that, but a male lesbian then?
Did you mean gay men?
There aren't any male lesbians as far as I'm
Gay
aware.
lesbians?
Yeah.
Are there any other kind?
I don't know.
I'm so sick of these straight lesbians.
I know, exactly. It's terrible.
All right, I think it's time we move on now.
No, there's definitely a Gasbian.
I don't have anything else to say about this game.
No,
It
actually,
looks shiny and fun.
Actually, what there is a
not fun.
Nesbian.
Maybe all the necromorphs are gay.
Yeah,
Maybe all
that's
the
what I say. A
necro-
Nesbian.
Yeah.
It's a Nesbian.
Maybe they're all gay. Yeah. Anyway, so that's.
Are you
that's
suggesting that John Nessie is a lesbian?
No.
All right.
Never.
Yeah. Let's move on. Thumbs
No.
up from Stu. It's a from me. Like it was exactly what I expected it to be, which is not.
Did
my
you
kind of
actually
game.
finish the first game, or did you not finish that either?
No, did I bollocks?
This isn't your type of game, though, Eric, is it?
It's
really?
not my type of game, and I
Scary.
tried it, and I keep trying it. Like
It's scary. I think that the
I won't-
genius thing about this game was that you had to cut off the limbs of the aliens instead of trying to get a headshot and
Sure.
stuff like that.
And there was a good reason for it. Like
Yeah, it's
a lot of
brilliant.
games have had that, but it was never really essential.
And
But
you're
now
using
in this game,
tools
it was
instead of a
essential.
gun because
Oh yeah,
you've got to cut
sure.
the limbs. That's cool, man. That's
Right.
great.
Yep.
Lord's
anyway-
asking, by the way, Lord's asking if we look at the chat in Twitch. So just,
I
I'm not
can't do
looking
that.
at the chat in
I'm
Twitch.
looking at it right now,
Suppose
Lord.
it can't hurt
just
for
to
me to
let
get
you
it
know.
up.
Hence why I
Oh,
knew you
goodness.
asked if do we look at
I
this
said,
chat?
do we
I
even
don't
look
know.
at this chat? Yeah, I can see
Do
it.
we even look at this chat? I can
I
see
can
the
see it.
chat. So what's your problem?
Yeah. James Bevan says Dead Space Lesbian Edition now with 100% more lesbians.
There you go. That's
Why don't
definitely what
fish
it's
count
got.
as meat? What does that mean?
I've no idea.
Why
No,
don't
no,
fish
it's
count
the
as
it's
meat?
the
It
religious
does.
thing, isn't it? Because you could eat fish on a Friday, but not meat. That's how it
Oh,
used
I
to
got
be.
you. Right.
And then-
right.
and
Well,
then-
that's a good question. I don't know where that shit comes. I'm not Catholic or whatever.
I don't
Anyway.
know where that shit
All right.
comes from.
So moving on, Chinny, why don't you talk about a game?
Well, I've got Spider-Man to talk about. Shall I talk about
Go
Spider-Man?
on, let's hear some more stuff about
Go for
Spider-Man.
it.
That's a really new game, so you know.
through your
you're
town
playing
like
the
a neighborhood Spider-Man.
Now,
Spider-Man.
Stu, I don't want to
Spider-Man.
trigger you, but there are gay people and lesbian people in the
Oh,
Spider-Man.
Oh, God damn it!
But did he
Is there
actually
a reason
develop
for it, Chinny?
Oh, did he develop the characters though? Are they in it for more than 3
I don't know.
seconds?
I don't
Can
know.
just
Actually,
check?
I don't.
See? Now he could have said, "I don't like undeveloped characters."
Yeah.
Because that's a problem. I agree. That is an issue when there's undeveloped.
Yes, but there's a problem when they just chuck it in there. I'm just
That's
saying.
Man, I'm
Look,
trying to help you.
We're never going to
Go
agree.
ahead, Chinny. Talk about
We're never
Spider-Man.
going to agree.
Go ahead.
So I've been playing more Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
It's a video game on the PlayStation 5. It's very good. I was talking lots of good things about it last week.
Yes. You
one-
talked especially about how the opening sequence was
sequence.
mind-blowing. And then I went into school and I said to students, hey, that opening sequence of Spider-Man 2,
joking.
am I right? And they were like, yeah, I know. And I was like, yeah, I didn't play it. My friend played it. Yeah.
So I'm a bit more way into the game. One thing I don't appreciate in video games these days, now that my time is limited because I have to change a lot of nappies,
Yeah.
is these fucking slow walking missions. Do you know what I mean? Where you're like, so we had a mission where you've got to walk around this research lab with bloody Harry Osborn. Whatever
As
his
they
name.
dump info at you, right?
That's all of Dead Space. Can
And
I
it's
just
just like, fuck, you know. It's like we're so the whole plot between him and the Green Goblin kid, his best mate, is that like they want to heal the world, right? And there you go. This Duke's holding something up. They want to heal the
Sour
world,
Patch Kid.
and they're doing all this research, and because Harry now has a rich dad and he's poured all this money into the Vision, they're doing all this research like saving the bumblebees and blah blah blah. And there's something about Peter Parker and Harry Osborn where they've both got a stupid fucking smug face all the time. Like they've just got this smug look on their face, and it fucking annoys me. They go, Peter, we're gonna heal the world. I'm like, fuck off! All right, stop being a twat. Like you're 22. What are you doing? All right.
Yeah, but that's the prime time when you want to heal the world. You wanna be
So what you're saying is,
doing something
Ginny,
helpful.
you're against like people who want to help the environment.
just like-
is that
You
what
hate
you're saying?
bees, huh?
I
You
hate
hate bees.
I
You hate the
bees.
environment.
Don't try
You
and spin
want-
it because I made you
want
look like you
those-
hate lesbians.
You want those
Stop
oil
it.
rigs to
Not
spill their oil
working.
into the ocean. Is that
Not
what you're
working,
saying?
Stu. It's not working. So
Whoa! You gave me loads of grief, and now you're hating on the
So
environment.
Peter and Harry have just got this fucking smug look on their face, like
Yeah.
we're gonna heal the world.
What
And I'm
you
like-
want to do is dump some nuclear waste somewhere. That's what you want.
and it's so annoying, and they just look like people I would beat up immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just look like twats, and yeah. So I didn't like that, and I don't like the slow walking around, missions.
I'm with you.
There's a cool feature in the game. No matter where you start the game, there's always a previously on feature. So whatever you play,
All right, okay.
I like that. There is some very sort of standard side missions in this game. You know, like standard, like beat up a bunch of people, whatever. But there's also some. There's almost 3 degrees of like side missions. So you've got your standard, like it pops up, you solve it, done. Then you've got your big side missions where it's actually quite a big story. It's almost like a main quest, but it's a side mission, right?
Right.
Done. And then you've got these kind of like halfway houses where they are missions, and they start off very ordinary side missions, but they actually turn into a very sweet, very heartfelt mission or story. So, for example, I'll give you an example. Very minor spoiler for a very small side mission on Spider-Man 2.
Warning!
Pops up out of nowhere. You land to this woman. She says, "Oh, I've lost my granddad. He's not very well. He's gone wandering." So then you do a few scans or whatever, and you find him on this bench, and then you end up just talking to this guy and how he used to have his wife, and he used to be proposed to his wife here in Central Park, and then he has this wholesome conversation with you.
It turned out she was a lesbian.
It turned out that his granddaughter.
Yeah,
was
and
a
she left
lesbian.
him for another woman.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then like the granddaughter comes back and goes, "Oh, Granddad, there you are." And he says, "Oh, I met a nice young man called Spider-Man." And it's like, oh, that's really nice. So there's a lot of heart and nice things gone into some of the missions.
But they
same
don't
time-
spend a lot of time, presumably, telling you that story. It's the action, and then there's a little bit of story, and they keep it moving.
And then there's at the same time you've got bloody Peter and Harry going, We're gonna heal the world, man.
Yeah, but that's because he's a caring lad. He can,
Right.
Unlike Eugene, who wants to destroy the world.
Just
and have
because I'm
loads of
picking on you because you hate lesbians, stop it.
No,
Right.
you just hate the environment. No, yours is worse. You hate the whole world.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. I think I'm
Yours
accurate.
is
I think
worse.
most people do.
I don't.
Anyway, so this game's full of Easter eggs, and I was passing somebody on the phone, and they said Dr. Milligan, right? They said, "Oh,
Okay.
Dr. Milligan, I'm late for my appointment." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, I bet Dr. Milligan is an Easter egg. I don't know anything about Dr. Milligan. I was like, they don't drop Dr. Milligan in Spider-Man, and I was like, I wonder what Dr. Milligan is. And it is a character of it's like a villain basically in the Spider-Man universe. I forgot what the name of the villain is or whatever.
The alter ego. Has he got an alter ego?
It's what is it? It's a character called Toxin.
All right.
So
okay.
it's an enemy called Toxin that isn't like a well-known villain, but she's on the phone to a Dr. Milligan, and I just happened. I did this on my own, by the way. I just googled Dr. Milligan. I was like, I wonder if that's a character. Googled it, and it turned out to be this character. So there's probably loads of like Easter eggs in this game that I'm totally missing. Do you know what I mean? Which I can appreciate. What else is that? In this research centre, where they're healing the bees and they're bloody, like some of the jargon that they're talking in this fucking research centre is annoying, right? Because first of all, everybody looks like they're under 25 in this research centre, so I don't know where they're getting these kids from, right? And then you talk to them and they go, the end degree of the root extractor, the algorithm is similar to the lung division, and in ways that can still off a cone of what are you talking about? What are you talking
Well,
about?
they have to make it sound all scientific.
Right, but they're all under 25 walking around. And I watched them for a while, and they just kept them walking up to a dead end and turning around. These people aren't that smart, surely. All right, so they
Wow.
there is something that's been trending on the old TikToks about Spider-Man is the NPC conversations. Have you heard about this?
No.
So the NPC conversations in Spider-Man have become a bit of a meme because they obviously said to two actors, just make stuff up. So there's a conversation between two women, and she says, "Oh, like I've just got a job as a nanny," and she's like, "Oh, that's brilliant." And she says, "Well, I'll be honest with you, I've never even held a baby before. I'm like proper phoning it in as fuck and all this." and she's like, "Oh, well, a tip for you is keep them alive." And she's like, "Oh, right, okay, yeah, keep them alive, yeah." And she's like, "And put some petroleum jelly on their bum," and she's like, "You're putting gasoline on their bum?" It's like, no, don't put gasoline. And it's really funny, right? And there's loads of these.
If
little
you get talented people who can improv, then that makes it
and there's
great.
loads of them, and there's like so the meme is like spending more time listening to the NPCs than playing the game in Spider-Man. So that's cool. A lot of time.
And by the way, when we talk about Spider-Man, I have to play the Wu-Tang clip. Your brother will like that. He likes Wu-Tang.
He does. Yes, there's like a lot of good UI. There's their suits get worn and torn, so they damage. Remember in Batman Arkham Asylum when like your cape got damaged and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the game encourages you to change your suit because now and again it will get shredded up.
Interesting.
So
that really goes back to Fable when the person became more evil and they grew the horns and stuff. So we should all be thanking Peter Molyneux for that.
Yeah.
There is something very unrealistic about this Spider-Man game. Bear in mind, this is a game where you are bitten by a radioactive spider, and you're swinging around with a web, and like somebody's got venom powers and
and there's always something. There's always something to attach it to, even though there appears not to be.
There's something very unrealistic about this game, and the unrealistic thing is Harry Osborn, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
fitted 2 mountain bikes in his golf car.
Oh yeah, that's never happened.
And I was like,
what?
and they were intact. So I was like, there is no way that kid could put those bikes in that car
Absolutely not.
and take them out.
No.
No chance. Very unrealistic.
Bullshit.
Unsubscribed, deleted from hard
Yeah.
drive. Yeah, it's just top notch. It's just absolute top notch. I can't fault it. There's a mission that I've done on the main story that involves Coney Island, which is a big fairground, and it's just brilliant, absolutely stunning. So well done. The other thing that really bothers me. So we all know Venom, right? And that character Venom, who Harry Osborn becomes. He becomes Venom. Well, it's Eddie Brock, isn't it? I suppose is Venom in the.
He's
thing.
a journalist in the original,
But basically, Harry Osborn has the Venom sentient thing in him.
yeah, right.
There's a scene where like he learns about his power, and he's like practicing it. And you know these like black ropes that come out of his arm and stuff. He's just wearing a coat, and it just comes out of his coat. And I just thought,
it's like Bayonetta.
I just thought that looked really cack. And I was like, and this was
It looks really cat.
this was a cut scene. Do you know what I mean? This was like a cut scene. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it doesn't look like it's coming out of his sleeve or anything like that. It just looks
Yeah,
like it's
right.
coming out of his body, out of his coat, and it just looks so bad.
It's because it is him and his coat.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's that. Apart from that, not many gripes. Just fantastic. Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
Cool.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. Oh, and there's
Love
a deaf interpreter in the game. In Miles Morales, his love interest is deaf, so she signs
Okay.
everything.
That's
and
cool.
then in the game, they have like they have her in it again, who's doing accurate ASL, but also they have in the classroom a deaf interpreter, which I was quite impressed with. So that's cool. I
They
like
just
that.
they just threw that in there.
So
Come on,
woke,
Chinny.
so
No point
woke.
for that. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a
cool.
big
No,
supporter.
that's awesome.
I'm a big supporter.
I
of
love
Deaf-
representation.
I think deaf studies should be taught in school above foreign languages. Myself,
Sure, why not?
But
Yeah,
hey,
they should be more useful.
yeah. So
Well, I mean, it depends on where your life takes you, but it is a good idea for everybody to know some.
I
sign
think it should be a
language. I agree with that.
standardized thing to introduce to schools. But hey how. So
I
I
think
like it
kids
when
would
I
get
see
into
it.
it.
You know, when I see it in something, I like it
Yeah,
when
yeah.
people sign and stuff like that. Nice.
That's the thumbs up sign I'm giving.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ASL I know. I
Okay.
guess E R I
Yeah.
C.
See, American alphabet is all on one hand, whereas British is
Yeah,
two.
right.
So it's a bit different.
Two, yeah, sure. Yep.
Hey ho.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2.
And I know this. I know
Okay.
this.
That's
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
I
What shall
know
we talk
this.
about now?
Go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I know this.
Or as
right.
Huey Ball puts it,
Fuck yourself.
yeah.
I'm
Him
gonna.
speaking sign language. Go ahead, Stu.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about Like a Dragon in Ishin. Like a Dragon Ishin, it's called.
Is this a Persona game?
No, it isn't.
Is it by the makers of Persona?
No, it isn't.
No, it's
Okay,
a it's
I don't know what
it's
this
a
is.
Yakuza
It's-
game, isn't it?
It's a Yakuza game.
Oh, what did I say? Persona. I'm sorry, I meant Yakuza. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
you're right.
Right.
It's a Yakuza game set in the 1800s.
Oh, is
Ah.
it really? Oh.
Yeah, it really is, right? And they have all of the characters from Yakuza, but they've all got different names.
So it's kind of like an
Interesting.
episode of The Simpsons when they do like a flashback. or
Yeah, when they
something.
go to some
Yeah.
weird alternate
Or the Marvel
universe.
1600 episode or the
Yeah.
book. That
So
they pulled out,
every
Marvel 1600. That was
character
good.
from Yakuza's in it, but they're all different people in it. It's
Yeah.
just
Do
weird.
they have the same basic relationships, or do they mix those up?
Yeah, no. They said they're sort of the ones that are friends with each other in the Yakuza games are friends with each other in this game.
Okay.
And it's really weird. It's cool and weird at the same time. Of course, it's weird because it's
That
a
sounds like Yakuza.
it's
games.
a Yakuza game, but
Yeah.
it has guns,
Oh yeah.
swords, and knives and stuff like that. You know, all
I'm
these
sorry. What
different
year
weapons.
is it set in?
It must be just as-
1920X.
I think it's 1890 or something like that. or
1890, and there's guns.
Yeah, revolvers.
Yeah, M4s.
Yeah, there's revolvers. I'm assuming it's. I would imagine it's fairly historically accurate that there were guns around at that time. I would assume. Or
Okay.
the first. Look, well, now he's frantically googling the introduction of revolvers now.
This is
'Cause
all
we know
about
Duke-
regulation.
We know
Whoops.
Duke
This is
too
all-
well. I know him too
Yeah,
well.
It's all about regulation and how they don't have mass shootings over there. Ridiculous.
But anyway, so they're like,
Anyway.
so there's all this. Oh, we're teaching all these samurais, and they've all got samurai swords, and these other dudes have got guns. So how the hell are we going to fight guns with swords and all this?
Yeah.
So you get a gun, And it's just the weirdest thing, right? Because how do you normally control a gun in a video game?
Right trigger.
Yeah, right trigger. What does that do?
That fires the gun.
Yeah, right trigger fires and left trigger aims the gun.
Aims. Well,
Yeah.
unless it's CS:GO, in which case no aiming going on.
Yeah, no aiming, but not in this game.
Oh,
So
no?
in
How do you
this
fire in
game,
this game,
it works exactly the same as a sword, or if you're doing like a normal fighting game. So it's like
just swinging the gun.
X for a light attack, so he shoots it when you press X, and Y for a heavy attack, so there's some fancy finisher with it. Or you can do a
So how do you
combination
a heavy attack with a gun, but okay.
Well, you know, he does all these fancy twirly things where he shoots about 4 people at
Oh, I
once and all this stuff.
By the way, I'm eating crow here. According to this Wikipedia article, firearms were introduced to Japan in the 13th century during the first Mongol invasion.
You can just
Holy
suck
crap.
on old Bub.
I guess I should suck old Bub. Yeah, I was way
you can.
wrong.
Hey,
I'm glad to be wrong because it helps me learn new things.
Well, of course it does, but you always have to check you're wrong.
Yes, I don't want to be wrong if I'm right, and vice versa.
So anyway, it looks pretty good, and I've got to say, this introduction of guns and sword fighting at the same time it's pretty cool. It looks amazing. It's like, oh my god, this is just ridiculous.
It does look
So
ridiculous.
yeah, so it's similar to all the other Yakuza games. There's like 3 styles of fighting. So there's like fists only, it's like samurai sword, or a combination of swords and guns at the same time. And
Does anybody ever bring a sword to a gunfight?
Yes, you do get swords and guns
probably doesn't
to
work.
fight against. But it does this cool, and it's like all Yakuza games. There's this kind of serious story going on about betrayal and backstabbing and people getting double crossed, and I really quite like it. I'll be honest. If it weren't for all the other stuff I've got to play, I think I'd just settle down and play this. So I think when I've finished Cyberpunk, the new extension DLC, I think I'll be back on this, and I'm gonna probably play it to the finish because it's pretty good. I am worried about the length of this game though, because this playthrough is 15 hours long, and usually when there's like a walkthrough video, it's usually about half the time it takes you to play it. So I'm reckoning it's going to be a fairly hefty investment of time to play to the end of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's honor, there's pride, there's all this stuff
Stu,
going on.
I've got a question for you.
So good.
Stu.
Go.
What if you said, "Oh, game X is out.
Yeah.
It's this amount of hours." What hours would it be for you to be like, "That's too long"?
I think anything over, and I'm going to sound stupid here because obviously I played Cyberpunk for way longer than I am Witcher 3. But these days, anything over 30 hours, I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to be a bit like, oh God, it's 30 hours. That's a long time.
I agree.
It's a long time.
Do you know what I mean? I think
agree.
anything over 30 hours now feels like a big investment of time.
I've really got to commit if it's over 30 hours.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like a big investment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that, you know, the Cyberpunk expansion is 30 hours, but I'm happy with that because, and you know, when I talk about it, I'll tell you why. But at the moment, I don't want it to end. I just want to play more and more of it because it's so bloody good. So yeah, so Like a Dragon Ishin, I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed so far. Story, characters, combat. What's not to like? So there you go.
Good
Thumbs up.
question.
Thumbs up, man. That's it. I'm done.
All right. So is that me then?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been playing New World, which is an MMO, and I just got to say, I got 5 bathrooms.
5 bathrooms.
Wow, what are you going to do with all those bathrooms, dude?
Yeah, that's a clip from Parks and Rec. I don't know if Chinny remembers when Jeremy Jan was in prison and he won't stop bragging about how he has 5 bathrooms.
No.
I've got 6,000 make-believe gold points pieces in this game, man. I'm living La Vida Loca, and I just can't stop gathering money because I'm gathering trees and gathering rocks and getting gold off of the stuff. I can't really explain why I like playing New World. It's just about, you know, it's quests. The combat loop is fun. And I'm just running all over the place. And I'm chopping down trees and breaking up rocks. And yeah, I got and then I was running around and doing a quest. And there are these, I was in this region that had these, like, I guess they're called shadow wolves. So like I'll fight the shadow wolf and then I'll kill it. And then when you kill an animal in this game, you can like skin it and then use that hide to tan it and maybe turn it into better hide. And then you can refine it and make it into even better hide. And you can make armor with it and you can sell that, get more gold. I got 5 bathrooms. So when I'm skinning the shadow wolf, I was running around like I skinned the shadow wolf and just running up to people. I skinned the shadow wolf. I said to the Duchess, hey, you know what? I skinned the shadow wolf. She's like, what are you talking about? Nothing. Don't worry about it. I got 5 bathrooms. Yeah, but this game really sparks joy. It's the type of game you can just play forever and not have to really think about much. You just run around and do quests, and it's very satisfying. The one thing, well, there's 2 things that bug the crap out of me in this game. First of all, dyeing your clothes is mad expensive. Like buying 1 use of like a red dye is like 20 gold pieces. And it's like, what the hell? What is this? Highway robbery? I'm trying to save money here. I'm not going to save money if I spend all my money on red dyes.
Also, if you spend all the money on 5 bathrooms.
Let me ask you a question, Duke. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So can you buy more gold pieces with real life money?
Oh, I probably could, but I ain't doing that shit.
Well,
I'm not
that's
trying to
probably
give them
why
any
it
more
costs
money.
20 gold to dye your clothing.
Well, but that's a market price set by the community.
Really? Why? What's the
Yes.
community got to do with it?
Because the community is making these dyes by running around finding the pigments in nature and then mixing them together.
Well, maybe
to
it's
make
really
dye.
difficult.
It's not. I've done it. It just takes time.
Well,
But
exactly.
because the dyes are the pigments are rare, you know, people want money for their time. It's just whatever.
So
Anyway.
wait a minute, who gets the gold pieces? Just the players who have made that dye.
Yes, I sell things all the time. Because if I get a new shield, but I already have a good shield, I just put that shit right up on the auction house. More gold. And you know what I do with that gold?
Do you know what, Duke? It sounds like you don't know how economies work. People want cash, and the more cash they can get, that's what they'll do.
Well, yeah, but I don't understand why people are spending 20 gold pieces on a fucking dye.
Well, someone must
It's
be,
not
because
that
otherwise,
important.
otherwise they wouldn't be able to sell it for 20, would they? If no one bought it.
Yes, you're
for 20?
right. But those
That's
people
how-
who pay that are stupid.
It's like us at the moment, right? We have to pay God knows what for shopping because bloody inflation. You know what I'm
not calling you
saying?
stupid. I'm just saying, if you were smart, you wouldn't spend that money. You just
Yeah,
eat dirt.
Exactly.
But that's a necessity.
Yeah,
Like,
I
people
get what
who
you mean.
people who spend $100 on a Supreme T-shirt are idiots. That's why
Yeah,
I
but
made my
people who
Supreme
want to
tie.
look different in video games are prepared to spend that money to look different. That's what they want to
Well,
do.
there's different, and then there's different. And meanwhile, the game developers should make it easier for us to make ourselves look different. But they want money, so you're right. It's capitalism. Once
Exactly.
again, the problem is
It all
capitalism.
comes
I
back
agree.
to real world money. That's
it all
how it
comes back
works.
to capitalism.
It does.
Greedy
Cash
ass
is king.
companies.
Cash is king.
Greedy ass companies, and not like Tetris. Anyway,
Everybody's greedy ass. All the players are greedy ass.
Not
too.
the guy who made Tetris.
Well, yeah, but he was Russian.
Okay. Yes, he was. I hear he was a lesbian too. All right. Anyway,
Russian.
here's the thing. I skinned the Shadow Wolf. Yeah. So they also need to give us haircuts. That's bullshit. Because there's no way to cut your hair. I would give them $1 if I could get.
I was just going to say that's a missed
Use your
opportunity. There.
hairstyle.
Think how many gold pieces he could charge for a
Yeah.
haircut.
Or not even gold pieces. Make it like ruby shards or something that you can't, you know, I got gold, but if they did it with like some other currency, a lot of MMOs have, I don't think this has multiple currencies.
Good. Why does it need to be
It
any
is
more
good.
complicated than it
No, I
already
know.
is?
I agree. But I'm just saying, like, I would just want a way to cut my hair different. I would want a different hairstyle. It's ridiculous. You can't change your hairstyle ever. You make your character and that's it forever. And
Do you
it's
know,
just so
I
stupid.
love, right, how you give me grief for being like into aesthetics of games.
It is a stupid minor aesthetic
And then
detail, I agree.
you constantly want to change the appearance of your character, which let's be completely clear here is totally
Yeah.
aesthetic. Just saying.
Well, yeah, but on the other hand,
5 bathrooms.
so
Good argument.
My character does not have 5 bathrooms. And what am I going to use this gold for
Doesn't
anyway?
even have a
Nothing. I have
haircut.
no plans for it. I should spend it on dyes. If I save up enough, I can get a better house, a bigger house anyway. But what's the point of that? I spend like 30 seconds a day in my house. There's no point in having a house.
So how much gold have you currently got? Let's just
like
establish
6,500
Whoa,
gold.
and you're quibbling over 20 gold for a bit of red dye.
Yeah, 'cause
What
I'm a
is the matter
cheapskate.
with- Wow.
Stingy Duke. That's
What
why.
the
And it's
hell?
make-believe gold. Imagine how stingy I am with my... Actually, I'm not. I tip the people at McDonald's when I go through the drive-thru and shit.
Really?
Because
That's just a weird thing to do. I bet they're
It
like,
is a
what the
weird
fuck is
thing.
he doing?
Oh man, this woman was about to cry last time I did it. She was speaking Spanish to her coworkers, and I wanted to practice mine. And I said, "Gracias por su trabajo, yo sake." And I looked up on Google Translate how to say, "I know you don't get paid enough." And so I said it to her, and she was almost about to cry. She was just like, "Gracias." gracias."
Do you?
It was very sweet.
Is it? Because obviously in America, tipping culture is just a thing. In McDonald's,
McDonald's.
No. Oh, okay. That's what I was going to ask. I don't know.
No. And that's what makes it extra special is that they get paid jack shit and they have to be there, because I stop in on my way to work sometimes. So it's like I'm leaving my house at like 6:30. What time do they have to be there? Ugh. But I appreciate it. So I'm like, here's a little something extra. Go get yourself a drink after work or whatever. So anyway, back to New World. It's a fun game.
Can I just say, Duke?
Can I just say?
I'm
I
watching
skinned
this
the
clip.
Shadow Wolf. Yes.
I'm watching this clip here. This
the trees fall
is the
down.
most
Oh, that's
realistic tree chopping I've ever seen in a game.
It's pretty good, but you have to watch though, because yes, it falls over, but the tree just evaporates in a second. So
but I'm just meaning the stump that's left's got like that, broken
Yes.
bit that you get on it.
Oh,
Tell
yes,
you,
I
it's
agree.
Very
It-
realistic. I'm
It's
impressed.
beautiful aesthetics here. Yes, I agree.
It is. I'm impressed.
There's dead trees sticking out of the earth. There's fallen trees you can chop up.
Yeah,
A
I'm liking
variety
this.
of tree harvesting.
I know.
And
This
you
must be
level-
like.
You can get better axes at certain levels. Like I'm at level
Is there
47, I think.
Is there a lumberjack simulator?
There
Yes,
might be.
but that's all it is. See, this is what makes Red Dead Online great, and New World is sort of in that same vein. You can go fighting monsters, you can go harvesting trees, you can go fishing, you can go boulder collecting, you can go mining for ore, you can go, did I mention fishing? Did I mention I have 5 bathrooms? And that I
Wow.
skin the Shadow Wolf?
It's in the shadow. I'll be honest. This is like a sort of tree fella's wet dream, isn't it? That's what
Well,
this is.
yeah, and they're everywhere. Every tree you see, you can cut it down.
I know. I'm just so impressed. There's
So
big
it's
trees, little
Skyrim-ish
trees.
in that sense.
Wowzers.
Of like, anywhere you see, you can get to the top of it. Climbing. I will say this: the climbing is a bit bullshit in this game because there are certain ledges you can jump up and grab, but your character doesn't jump for shit. So like you're doing this hop all day long trying to find the ledges. Look at Chinny's like, oh God, shut the fuck up.
I'm so
about the
tired.
ledges."
Sorry, I'm so tired. It's really.
No, it's
hitting
okay.
me.
I
It's
just want to make
hit
sure
me
I'm
how
not being
tired
too
I am.
boring.
No. I've just realised how tired I am.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
No, it's
You're
fine.
allowed to be
Yeah,
tired. 'cause
time.
Remember when you had that baby?
Yeah.
I know.
Info
Time.
dumping.
Time differences and all that messing around, getting
That
up in the
too.
night. It screws you
Sure.
up big
Yeah.
time.
I am.
You
I
fell
am-
back though, so you have an extra hour.
I'm running
It
on low.
just catches up with you.
I'm-
I was exhausted yesterday, so I know how you feel. But that's the thing. I get worn out all week, and then Saturday I'm like, "Ugh," my one day off, and then today when I have to grade papers, I'm like, woohoo, feeling great. Whatever. New World,
Whatever.
awesome, fun. It brings me joy. That's the question you got to ask yourself, people. Here, wait,
It
Marie
is.
Kondo, how would you put it? Oh wait, I muted the site. Wait,
no.
Marie Kondo, how would you put it?
それはあなたにとってときめくものですか?
There you go. Brings
So
you
there you
joy.
go.
Brings you joy.
Right out of Marie Kondo's Japanese
Did
mouth.
I listen to something different there because you both understood that?
I totally understand it.
No, I just made which I was translating what she said.
Yeah.
You must
Yeah.
ask yourself: does the
You
item
must ask
spark
yourself.
joy?
Does
Okay.
it bring you
Yeah.
joy?
You don't understand Japanese, Jenny? Jesus.
No.
Wow, what is the matter with you? God, you're so old fashioned.
Suck.
I did have a
I bet you don't know how many
katsu-
bathrooms I have either.
I did have a
Yeah,
katsu
exactly.
curry the other day, so I thought it would help, but it didn't.
All right.
Didn't make you any more fluent in Japanese.
No.
Yeah.
Who knew?
But well, Stu's playing Yakuza. I'm translating Marie Kondo. What are you doing as a Sinophile, Chinny?
Yeah, Ginny,
and we
what are
watched
you doing?
Rashomon this weekend, so I think I win the Sinophile trophy.
I watched
Although
the.
Tainted Brain probably wins because he's in Japan right now.
I watched the
I've never
Beckham
even-
documentary. That was good.
Was
Is
there
it
anything
good?
Japanese in it?
doubt
he
it.
goes to Japan in the
Well,
documentary.
there you go.
Uh,
And let me ask you this:
Close
Are there
enough.
any lesbians in it?
Probably.
How many
Probably.
bathrooms does he have?
6.
Probably quite a lot. David
Yeah, it
Beckham.
probably has
Does he-
5
does-
bathrooms,
Does
I
he
would
skin
imagine.
the Shadow Wolf?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a good documentary. It's 4 episodes. It's good. I don't.
Alright.
Obviously, I don't like football, but it was
I
good
watched a
fun.
documentary about a guy who brainwashed a whole bunch of students at Sarah Lawrence College and got them in, like, abused the hell out of them and got them to give him money.
Wow.
It's kind
It's
of
a
like
bit
that
dark.
documentary, but not as
Yeah,
depressing.
it's gone a bit dark.
And
Christ
and
almighty.
It's such a dark documentary. Oh my god! It's
And-
called
and
Stolen Youth. Do not watch
the
it.
David Beckham documentary's got a lot more David Beckham in it.
Yeah, but
I would
less
imagine
and
so.
less abuse, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
How would you say that guy bends the ball? Would you say he bends
Very
it like Pele?
He bends the ball very well. He's very good at kicking the
Yeah.
ball in the net, like
Y'all
in a
seen that movie,
curvy
right?
way. In a
I
curvy
haven't seen
way.
it, but I know the film.
You haven't seen Bend It Like Beckham?
No.
Oh, that movie's awesome. Keira Knightley, one of her first movies.
Anyway, this isn't video games. So, Chinny, what have you been playing?
I'm doing
Go ahead, Chinny. Back to you, buddy boy.
For the audio listeners, I'm doing my Keira Knightley face.
You want pain? Try wearing a corset.
It's just like her. It's just like her.
Yeah.
We got to play. We got to talk about.
Oh, does it hold? Does it hold up? Does it? Does it hold up?
Yeah, we got to do that.
Does it?
Does it then? You fucking
Does it?
slag.
So, when we last
This
played,
is the part of the game where we talk about it. They talk about a game they've been playing that's 10 years old or older.
Yeah. So, which is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves at the moment for anyone interested. If you didn't realize that's what we were playing, that is what we're on. So, at the last chapter we played, we ended up just about to go looking for the missing temple, didn't we?
We have to go to the top of a hotel.
We have to go to the top of the hotel to get to the temple.
Yes.
Is what we're doing.
Yes.
So, it's pretty. What did you think of this section of the game? I thought it was pretty good.
This is definitely where, because my criticism was that the game doesn't have a great of intro as I remember it. Obviously, the first mission is brilliant, but the rest of it is pretty weak at the start. Yeah, it's very, very boring. But then we started to go to Nepal, and then this is where the game picks up again, I think. So I didn't remember much of this, and then as I was coming to it, and obviously as you start to do it, you go, "Oh my god, I remember this now." So you have to go to the top of a hotel, and then this helicopter basically.
Chloe gets stuck in the lift, doesn't she?
She gets stuck in the lift. But this helicopter starts just blitzing you out of nowhere, and it's one of the coolest sequences in the game, and it's brilliant. And I remember this being in the trailers, and yeah, it's. You
see, I did it. I think I died a couple of times the first time I played the game. I didn't die at all, and it's so slick when you do it all in one go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a massive set piece from a movie. It's just so cleverly done.
Then there's a section where you're in a building and the building collapses while you're in
it does.
Which I don't think that has to be a world's first in a video game.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that's ever been done.
Where it collapses, you have to jump.
Battlefield had collapsing buildings.
No, but this is
not
before
back in
Battlefield.
13 years ago.
Like not before Battlefield did like all. Like a building that is toppling over.
Yeah.
Duke. Not a building that's crumbling. I'm talking about you're in a building.
No,
and
I know,
falling.
but Bad Company had collapsing buildings.
It did, but
not in the same way as this. But it is, to be fair, it is more of a cutscene than an actual.
Well, no, but it's falling, and you control in Drake, and then you have to jump.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
I think it's
for the record. Bad Company came out in 2008. Uncharted 2 came out in 2009.
But you're wrong, Chinny, because when did Red Faction? Was it Guerrilla? Red Faction.
That's
Guerrilla?
true.
I suppose what I'm talking about
you
is
could dismantle whole buildings and
no. I'm not talking about destructive environments. This is a very different conversation. I'm talking about a sequence where you're in a building and it falls over.
Yeah, that is true. I don't think it's
I'm like destructive environments. Yeah, that's been done. But this is you're in a building and it falls, and what do you do? And it was like even now as I play it in 2023, massively impressed with. The
sequence. They make a hell of a mess of that hotel, by the way.
Unbelievable sequence. This.
It is. It's like a really cool set piece from a movie. It is just so well done.
Yeah.
And then you have to have a battle with said helicopter.
You do.
So you have a big battle with that until you kill it.
Yeah.
Until you kill it. And then you meet Elena, which I'll be honest, in this game so far is one of my favourite scenes.
Yeah. It's
such a great scene.
But my problem, when you meet Elena, right?
Yeah.
The cameraman doesn't get much of an intro, and I was like, I don't remember what happened to the cameraman, and I was like, man, that guy is definitely dead because usually when you meet a new character in this game, it's like, oh, this is this is Elena, but the cameraman was like, you're right, yeah. Man,
well, it was.
Don't mind him; he'll be dead soon.
Because it almost hints as well that it might be her new flame sort of thing. It might be a new boyfriend. But I love the first line where she goes, "Hi, Elena Fisher, last year's model."
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
There's some great dialogue in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Chloe says,
Because Neil Druckmann knows how to write.
Yeah, Chloe says, well, it's just I never figured you for the white bread picket fence type.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, she's a lot tougher than she looks, thank you. You know what I mean? It's like, he sticks up for her. I like the fact that he sticks up for Elena, because we know from playing the first game that she's, a lot tougher than she looks.
I just felt sorry for that character, that cameraman character. I was like, man, he's definitely dead, this guy.
And then the final line in this scene, which I absolutely love, is when Chloe says, just dance with the one with the one that you brought, all right?
Yeah.
Dance with one that brought you, all
but
right?
he still
so
protects her. He still brings her along, doesn't he, Elena?
Yeah.
So, so you texted me, Stu, didn't you? Because we was going to play it up to chapter 10, but we ended up finishing chapter 11.
Yeah, because it's such a quick chapter.
Chapter 11 is a very cool chapter because that's where the cameraman, Jeff, my name is Jeff,
bites the biscuit.
He basically is injured and you have to carry him through. Yeah. And again, I think that's a first in video games. I don't.
Yeah, it's a kind of an escort mission with shooting.
But like escort missions have been done, but one where you're actually physically holding them and you're limited to a pistol.
Yeah.
And I remember doing this in like years and years ago, thinking, oh my god, this is terrifying because you've got no cover, you can't go in cover.
No, you've just got to shoot everyone with your pistol.
And usually in these kind of sequences, you get infinite ammo. So I was shooting loads of stuff. But you don't have infinite ammo.
No, you've got to be careful.
So yeah, I think this is a really good sequence that holds up really well. And and exactly, I was exactly right. The cameraman does die.
Yeah, he does. And to be fair, it's fairly brutal. I mean, it doesn't show it on. It doesn't show it on screen.
He shits himself to death.
Yeah, he shits himself.
Doesn't show it on screen.
Yeah,
well, I mean, somebody shoots him, but I assume that he shit himself.
Which is the baddie Russian man. So he's like,
as we all know, bad guys are Russian or English.
He is, exactly. He's making too much noise. Boom.
He's making too much noise, shitting himself to death. I will kill him.
I will kill him. So he shoots him in the face, basically, in front of you. And obviously, Elena's distraught because her new boyfriend's just been shot and killed. And then fucking Chloe the bitch, double crosses you again.
Well,
when's she gonna stop double crossing
you? She does,
you?
and she doesn't, doesn't she? She's sort of like, oh,
well, look, Nate, you made me do it. You made me do it, Nate.
No, she says I was trying to save you.
Yeah, I knew it was something of that nature.
But like, she's kind of like a Catwoman figure, isn't she? Like, you're not sure whether to trust her or not. You know,
she doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the interesting thing about Catwoman.
And Harry, he's absolutely useless. Is Harry, and he's like fucking Max Payne.
He left the royal family.
He's like the Max Payne in this game. You can't trust him to do anything right. All he's got to do is kill you both, and he's bloody useless at that. He's got a gun and everything, and he's bloody useless.
It does bother me in these situations where the main bad guy is there, and he's like, take care of them. I was like, you do it. You shot the cameraman.
Yeah, to be fair, it would have taken him 2 seconds to shoot 2 more bullets, and that'd have been the end.
So all this is that guy's problem. No one else's. He could have killed Nathan.
Yeah, he should have sorted it out himself.
Yeah.
Absolutely useless. But yeah, it's a funny trope, isn't it? Because it's almost like, I will get one of my henchmen to do it, because you know damn well the henchman's going to fuck it up.
Yeah,
because that's what they do.
It's bad storytelling, because you know why they're not doing it, because they don't want the main guy to have to be in a fight at the end. It's going to drag it out somewhere.
I thought they did that well in the first one, because that happens in the first one. You're in front of the main enemy in the first one, but there's a bomb going off in the submarine. You know, like it explodes, so that distracts everyone. Whereas in this, it's like, take care of them. I'm like, oh please. You're obviously going to get away.
I do not want to get my hands dirty.
If there is like a bad villain high school, the first lesson should be, don't let the hero escape.
Oh, there's that list of 200 things I'll do when I become master of the universe. You ever see that?
Oh,
no, it's classic.
No.
Oh man.
But you know, like, when you've got the main person trying to stop you in a room, just kill them. Don't assume they're going to die by your henchmen, because they never will. It's the classic. So yes, it's a great sequence. I think we're in a very good part. It really picks up in Nepal, this game. I think it's
definitely. This is for me one of the best sequences so far.
Yeah.
What I also thought was funny, just going back to the cameraman and Elena.
Yeah.
There's a bit where you do all this scaling of the outside of a building, and obviously, why would this cameraman be like a parkour expert?
Yeah.
And yet he managed to follow you up all these bloody drain pipe signs, etc., to get
Yeah.
to this stuff with his camera. He's still got his camera in his hand. I'm
It
like,
is. It is weird.
You are amazing.
It is weird how when you've got people following you. It's like I thought Nathan Drake was special. I thought he was like really athletic. But everybody
he's the
can
one
do
who-
this.
Everyone can do it. Even the cameraman who we've only just met
Yeah.
can do all this
So
crazy climbing stuff.
In 1996, a guy named Peter Anspach wrote a list of top 100 things I would do if I ever became an evil overlord, and people liked it so much he kept adding to it, so they had 215. Number 1, my legions of terror will have helmets with clear plexiglass visors, not face-concealing ones. Number 2, the only other one I'll read right now, my ventilation ducts will be too small to crawl through.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
So it's that kind of thing. Yeah.
So Emily, so there's 26 chapters. We're up to chapter. We're going to start chapter 12 when we start playing it again.
We are.
Where
we
do you
are.
want to get to? Do you want to get to finish chapter 17?
We didn't talk about. By the way, we didn't actually talk about the whole temple thing.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's a good sequence, isn't
So
it?
there's there's a big puzzle in the temple to
Yeah.
find out what you do with the weird dagger thing that you've got.
That's right.
So so you get into this sort of huge room with like a big water thing, isn't it? And you've got to climb this massive statue.
That dagger's cool because it's like a big version of that dagger that you're holding, isn't it? And it's
Yeah.
like you got to climb, and it's a clever way of using the same dagger.
And can I just say,
going
they learned the lesson from the first game because you go to a place where no one's supposed to be,
Yeah,
and there's nobody there.
yeah, but they do
no
come
one-
in though.
They do eventually, but that's only because they found you. But
Yeah.
you know, I can believe that more.
Yeah, but they
than-
found you in a secret place. How did they do that?
Yeah, that is
you know
true.
what I mean? They still,
That is true.
they still. It's
Because,
you're.
hey, Harry finally figured
Harry
it
found
out.
it, Yeah, yeah.
Harry figured it out.
No, I thought I think the puzzles are puzzling a lot better in.
Yeah, it's
Uncharted
definitely
2.
better. You've got the mirror puzzle first with the lights,
Yeah,
and then obviously that opens as you can see on screen now, opens a dude's mouth to climb down.
yeah.
And then I forgot what do you find at the bottom when you?
It's
put
like a
it
map,
all?
isn't it? It's like a map, and like they put like an X on their map, and it's like
Oh
a
yeah,
3D
because
map.
it all comes up out of the floor, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I forgot about the
yeah.
floor thing.
Yeah.
X marks the spot.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's good. It's I think the puzzles are a lot more
And
sophisticated.
then Nathan, let's be honest, is stupid enough to draw it on the physical map.
Well, you want to make a record of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to bloody forget, do you?
And that's what makes him, then you don't need him anymore. Because he's like, oh, you've just wrote it on your map, you dick.
Yeah.
So we're off to, is it Shambhala or whatever it's called?
Shambhala, yeah.
Shambhala, so we're off there next.
So we're going to start chapter 12 when we start.
We are.
Which is called A Train to Catch. Do you want to get to finish 17, Stu? Is that
Yeah, let's go for that. Let's see how far we get.
17?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go finish chapter 17 for next week.
So up to 17 for next week.
So, yep.
There's 26 chapters, I think, altogether, isn't there?
26,
It's a bigger game.
So it might be another 2 weeks before we finish
another
it.
2 weeks, I reckon we'll be done. But I'm enjoying it. I mean, how are you finding it so far?
Oh, yeah,
For
I
me,
think it's-
it's way better than
Yeah.
the original game.
It is, yeah. And I think, yeah, it's the game's a lot more confident now and knows what it is. But
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, the examples I gave before, I just think the dialogue is so much better. What's quite funny about this scene, by the way, where he has a map in the floor, I'm like, he starts to head out before he texts and leaves it all in place. I'm like, what is he doing? And then he goes back and gets the dagger. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
What I was shocked about was just how poor that intro is. I still think they could have done a better, not the first chapter because that intro is amazing, but the bits after it, I still think they could have done a better.
The stealthy getting the
Yeah, I
genies
still
lamp.
think they could have done a better job with that. But
I was okay with that, and I was okay with it this time as well. To be fair,
everything after that, I think, has been top draw. So yeah,
this game in general is you can see even now, why it was so well reviewed and why people loved it. It's like they've finally found the wheelhouse, didn't they? They figured out how to make it brilliant.
Definitely,
because Neil Druckmann knows how to make a video game.
Yeah, eventually they did.
Eric and Neil sitting in a tree.
Remember when he said he liked my writing?
Yeah, that's it.
He did.
Fucking info
he
dumping.
did.
Because there's no info dumping is why.
What I'd like to know is, though, I wonder how he'd feel if he knew you'd never played the game.
Fuck. It's about the story.
Yeah, well, what if he knew you'd never actually played the game?
I think
He'd be like, interesting. And then he'd move on.
Yeah.
I don't think he's too
People
preoccupied with that.
Fucking faker.
when I've captured my adversary and he says, "Look, before you kill me, will you at least tell me what this is all about?" I'll say no and shoot him. No, on second thought, I'll shoot him and then say no.
That's funny. Okay, Uncharted 2.
Okay, Uncharted 2.
Talk
Does it hold
about-
up?
Does that? Yes, it does.
That's a yes.
So far.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Massively yes. Yeah, huge yes, it does.
So,
is it back
Dead
to me?
Space.
Is it back to me?
No, you just
Is it back
talked
to
for
you?
about an hour for a game.
I don't know.
I'm not into horror games, as y'all know.
As we all
So it's a
know.
little weird that I bought World of Horror last week.
What the hell is World of
But-
Horror?
It's a game based on the comics of Junji Ito.
Oh, that's right. You talked about
Japanese.
this. You did
There's
say this.
Japanese again.
Yeah,
Damn, we're
I saw
all
that.
hardcore with the Japan stuff
Yeah,
this
we are.
week.
Japan.
But it was made in Poland.
Right.
That's right.
This
It's not
game's-
Japanese at all. It just looks Japanese.
Fucking weird. And it takes place in Japan. So there's that. Yeah, this game is weird. Not just because of the content, like that's fine. It's weird because of the way that it's put together. In other words, there's like 100 things on the screen. At no point does it explain what anything is. You've got, eventually I'm learning it as I play, but it's just like you can go to the apartments, you can go to the village, you can go to the hospital, you can go to the school. And like you'll get a quest that's like weird things have been happening at the school. So you go to the school and then it's like, you come home exhausted to your apartment. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I was going to the school. It's that kind of disjointed stuff. It's like, and then like, it'll say, you go into the gym and there's weird noises coming from one of the windows, and you can either go look at it and you'll lose some of your sanity, or you can skip it and you'll, preserve your sanity, but you'll have less of an understanding of what's going on or whatever. And so it's like, you're making these calculations all the time. And occasionally some creature will just show up, and it's usually something that doesn't have a face, or it's got 7 arms, or like its neck is melting or whatever. There's all sorts of weird monsters coming up in this game. And like, at first I was just like, kick, kick, kick. And it's got this like bar at the bottom of the screen that you fill up with actions. And then it was like, you need a weapon. And I'm like, what? And it's like, look around for a weapon. So I'm clicking, look around for a weapon. And then it's like, you find a stick. I think my kick would do more than this little twig I picked up off the ground. But nevertheless, I'm supposed to fight with a stick, I guess. And there's this woman who's like stabbing you with scissors. It's very, very bizarre.
But does it bring you joy? That's the question here.
I don't know. I'm actually trying to figure that out. I can't decide if it brings me joy or not. It's interesting. I'm not hating it. It does feel like a series of Junji Ito stories, so there's that. But I don't know. It feels too confusing.
I was just going to say,
it
it sounds a bit disjointed from what you're saying.
It's very disjointed.
Do you think that's on purpose? Or do you
Well,
think
it might.
that's by
Part of
design?
it is because his stories are disjointed, and Uzumaki, for instance, is the one about the spiral. I skinned the Shadow Wolf, and it is about this town. Weird things start happening. This one woman, this girl's dad, starts getting really into spirals. He's like, "Look at the snail with the spiral." And he starts making pottery, and then demons start killing people, and this guy turns into a slug. Clearly some horrible things are happening in this town. Why doesn't everybody just leave? Like, why are you staying in this town?
again, it's the trope. It's it's that.
It is.
There wouldn't be any
And-
story if everyone just left.
Right. And in the book, they explain it because it's like we follow some people trying to leave at one point, and it's clear that it's a nightmare. It makes it even worse. So it's like, you better just stick around. But this game doesn't have that. And so it's like, it doesn't really make sense. And 1 minute, people are like eating each other's fingers. And the next minute, it's like, hey, do we have a math test tomorrow? And it's just like, wait a minute. I think people would be talking about the whole eating of fingers thing. Yeah. So that's, again, part of it is fittingly confusing. And part of it is just, I think this is maybe this person's first game. And he just sort of throws a whole bunch of stuff at you at all the times. And you're just like, I think I do this. Fortunately, I've been able to. And there's the other thing. Like, I did an adventure that was like, you got to figure out what's going on in the lighthouse. There's some sort of demon there. And so I was like, all right. And then you get to the lighthouse and it's like, you need 5 keys to enter the lighthouse. Go solve the 5 mysteries. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I go back to my apartment and I got the 5 case files and I do 2 of them. And I'm like, all right, I want to take a break. So I'm like exiting to the main menu and it's like, you died. You only solved 2 mysteries, the end. And I'm like, what? Huh? I thought I might be able to pause it or something. Apparently, maybe I didn't do it right, or maybe there's no way to pause it, and you got to keep going until you. I don't know. It's very
Brilliant.
strange.
I don't even know what to say. I mean,
It's
you know me,
it's a pretty
right?
weird game.
I like weird and shit games, but even I'm looking at this thinking, I don't know whether I'd play this.
Yeah, I don't know what I think yet. I'm not ready to give it a grade or a rating. It's good at what it does, I guess, but it's doing so many weird things, I suppose. So thank you for all the love, Brian. They're just flying up the screen. Yeah. So that's World of Horror. It's interesting. It's $15. I guess I don't regret spending that money on it, but I don't really know what I think. So.
There you go.
All right, who's next? Stu, why don't you talk?
Yes, I've only got one more game to
I'll
talk
turn on the
about,
light.
which is the absolutely sublimely brilliant Phantom Liberty. Just saying. Yeah, this game, I'll be honest, this game just gets better and better. It just keeps on getting better and better. I've just done this mission, which was quite like a hefty mission, where you have to sneak into a stronghold, if you will. You know, where it's almost impenetrable, and you have to do all this. It reminded me a lot of GTA 5. Do you know where you're doing a heist and you have to do all the stuff before you even get that?
To prep the heist, yeah.
You have to do a lot of prep work to get to the building before you can do it. And you've got to do all these missions for this other dude who's then going to get you access, and it's honestly so brilliant. And the missions he gets you to do are super cool as well. Like, everything about this game is just so well thought out and just so well, everything is just so well done. I mean, I know I touched on it last week, but even just the new perk system and skill trees are just brilliant because they're quite simple, but they're so
You got
cool.
an example of a cool perk?
Yeah, like I said to you last week, just being running fast replenishes your health faster.
Oh, yeah.
So you end up sprinting around everywhere. There was like, and it's like the more headshots you get, the more health you get regenerating quicker and stuff like that. So you can build, like I said last week, you can almost build yourself into this juggernaut. But then you can also like soup up all the weapons, like, and you can specialize in like hand-to-hand combat or katanas, or so you can decide what you're going to actually use as your main weapon and just specialize in that. And it allows you to do it in a really focused way. And I just love everything they're doing with it and everything they've done. This really feels like it's been realized as the game it was always intended to be. And I can't recommend people enough to play this.
It has become the ultimate.
It has. It's become the one of the best RPGs out there at the moment, I would say. You know, compared to all the stuff we've had recently and even other stuff, this is just...
Well, okay, but hang on a second, though. You haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, so, I mean...
No, it's that's a different type of RPG, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
still an
completely
RPG,
different. It is, but it's a totally different type.
That's what most people think of when they think RPG. They don't think of sci-fi type game.
No, they don't.
But
they don't.
You're right. This is an RPG.
But yeah, it's great.
Do you think this is better than the actual original game?
I'm enjoying it more.
Yeah.
If that's a way of measuring it. I'm just enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the acting. I'm just everything, just all the stuff that's going on. It just feels like this really cool, fleshed out, full on story bet. And I'll be honest with you, and I'm going to say this now, and I don't ever usually say this about video games. I would have said this is probably as good as, you know, the 10% of the best movies of this year that have come out. It really is that well written, and acted. It feels like a really cool action movie that you're playing in.
I have to say, every because we watch the clips that we put on the show or for the video, and it's always looking very cinematic.
Everything's cinematic, even the cutscenes. It's like the Half-Life 2.
That's why they call them cinematic cutscenes, I suppose.
Yeah, it never takes you out to the and just the way that they position themselves. It's so natural looking. They'll sit down, they'll lean on something as they're talking to you. and everything just comes across as really realistic and just well thought out. I mean, this is a president woman that you have to rescue, and she's fucking hard as nails. Do you know what I mean? It's like even just turning stuff on its head, like you're expecting, it's like a damsel in distress thing, and she ain't no damsel in distress. She's
Probably
like, yeah, well,
Yeah, she's
possibly,
probably a
who knows?
lesbian, yeah.
But it doesn't
Surprised
make
you like
me
this
out
game,
of
Stu,
it,
to be honest.
even if she is.
Why
But yeah,
make
she
her
just kills
a
the fuck
badass?
out of everyone. She is fucking people up left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And I love it. I just love it. And she's such a great character. There's so many great characters in this. And I'm like, the scene I've just played, like, say, you do this, you've got to break into this building, you've got to do all this shit, then you meet this person there. And then it's like, you think one thing's going to happen, then something completely different happens. And you're just like, oh my God. I just want it to last forever because it's so good. I cannot remember the last time I played a game where I was like, I want to play more, I want to play more, I want to play more.
Have you
So
tried New
good.
World?
Yeah, I haven't, no.
I skinned the Shadow Wolf.
Have you
I bet
tried
you did.
Spider-Man 2?
Yeah. But then, when
You know, I
it
have
comes
5
to
bathrooms.
when it comes to the does it bring me joy, this brings me more joy than any other game I played this year, which probably means it's going to be my game of the year, just saying.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But I haven't played Alan Wake 2 yet, so maybe that'll change.
It's getting good reviews.
It is. It
It's
is.
getting good review. I
know-
wondered, Stu, what do you think of this idea? Should
Go
we
on.
play Alan Wake 1 as a Does It Hold Up before we play 2?
Can do. We can play Alan Wake 1 again.
But I know you want to play Alan Wake 2 pretty sharpish, I imagine.
I've got the original Alan Wake. Well, yes and no. You see, this is the problem. This is the problem, Chinny. I've got a
What's
major
the problem? What is your major
This
problem?
is the problem.
Other than your heart.
Kill
what's
the
what's your
problem.
other major
Yeah,
problem?
other than that. Yeah, if it wasn't for Phantom Liberty, I'd have probably been playing it already, but this game is so good, and I'm like, I've probably got another 15, 20 hours of this to play
Well, like,
first.
would that be interesting to do, to play Alan Wake first? One?
Yeah. No, I'm happy to play it again. I
But
love
then
that
we
game.
can't do too many Does It Hold Up?
Ah, Brian Chopper Kelly got it
Hold
right.
up. Well, we have to have a new one every time, don't we? I guess I'm quite happy to play a game in bits like we were doing. I'm quite enjoying doing this sort of structured, so many chapters at a
Yeah.
time. I quite like that.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, okay. Just an idea, because we could finish
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Well, let's finish Uncharted 2, and then we can do Alan Wake. I'm quite happy to do that before Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
I'm not in any major rush to play Alan Wake 2, although I really want to play it. But, if I don't play it this year, it ain't going to figure in my Game of the Year list. But then this is probably still going to beat it because I love it so much.
I'm still going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going
Yeah.
to beat it out. So good. And do you know what they do, by the way? And this is such a small thing, but I love it.
Go
They
on.
do such a great thing in this game. When you're walking with someone and they're talking to you, you never overtake them.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
It's nice because
Yeah,
how
that's
many games are you sort of trying to walk slow enough that they don't?
But then the question is, if they get ahead of you, can you catch up to them?
Well, you don't. They don't sort of. If you push as far forward on your stick as you can, they always keep pace with you. So you never.
Okay. Because I was going to say that's the reason they do that.
Yeah,
is they
yeah. So
want you to have
they
to
never
be
and I'm just
helplessly
like-
away from them. So,
Yeah.
But no, that's a more sophisticated way to deal with it. And
You see, it
yeah,
looks
we
like
do
on
need
screen that it doesn't do that, but you're automatically assuming it doesn't. That's
Yeah,
until you just push forward and then you don't kind of overtake them. It's so good.
Yeah, cool.
I love this game. It's brilliant. It's
Yes.
so brilliant.
Cool. All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
One of my advisors will be an average 5-year-old child. Any flaws in my plan that he is able to spot will be corrected before implementation.
Duke's reading that supervillain thing.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's doing. But okay, let's do some emails at this point.
Well, I thought I could talk about my other game.
Oh, have you got another one? I thought you'd done
One
yours.
more. One last one. Sorry, I forgot about it and I added it because
Oh,
I got
I
to
was
talk
going
about
to
it.
say, I did look at your list of games.
I
thought
know,
you were
I know,
done.
I know. I'm sorry. First of all, I have a message for Coffee Golf.
Fuck yourself.
I don't want to play golf where I'm constantly getting my ball in the water and hitting trees and fuck all that shit. So fuck you, Coffee Golf. I've been playing the categories thing that they ripped off the UK game show and Wordle. I've got in the Wordle wormhole. But then I realized, you know what? The greatest phone game of all time is Flow. I will fight anybody, anywhere. That's the greatest mobile game ever. And I went looking because the company that made it is called Big Duck Studios. And I'm like, I wonder if they've made other games. Yes, they have. And they're both called Flow Fit. And one is called Flow Fit Sudoku and one is called Flow Fit Crossword. Yeah, these games they're based on grids, obviously, like crosswords and Sudoku, but you don't have to sit there and figure out clues to crossword puzzles. Instead, what you're doing is they give you like kind of Tetris looking shapes, and you figure out where they go in this grid according to the rules of Sudoku.
Kind of like
or
a Sudoku jigsaw puzzle.
It is a Sudoku jigsaw puzzle, yeah. And in the early levels, it's very easy because you may have one of each of 4 combinations. So there's like one red one purple one yellow one, and you just put them according to color. But eventually, when you get up there in the levels, you have to figure out which ones go where and build a Sudoku grid that way. And with the crossword one, you build a grid of letters. It's just a really smart idea. This company is doing good work in making mobile games that just, they don't clutter the screen with shit. They don't play obnoxious video ads, at least not that I've seen. Flow certainly doesn't have any of them. It's just a really good, they gave you a bunch of stuff for free. And when I played Flow, I did all the free stuff. And I was like, I love this game so much, I'm just going to buy the paid version so I can give them money. And it unlocked enough content for 2 lifetimes. Wow. So I'm hoping that'll be the case with this Flow Fit Sudoku and Flow Fit Crossword, because you can do them in like a minute. And it's just, and then you want to do the next one. And it's just really, it's lovely. It sparks so much joy.
So much joy.
So much joy. It gives you joy.
Yeah. Gives me a lot of joy.
Good
so
stuff.
Check them out, people. If you're sick of coffee golf like me, you can check out Big Duck Games. Start with Flow. It's the best mobile game ever. You're just connecting colored dots. That's all you're doing, but it gets tough. And then Flow Fit Sudoku and Flow Fit Crossword. Although I usually say Sudoku because of the way that Stephen Merchant said it one time. Yeah, that's it. That's all the games I've been playing. Did you say something about email?
Well, let's do emails.
I suppose we could do emails if we really wanted to.
5 bathrooms.
Yeah, there's that too. All right, here comes the email song.
Whoa, that ruled.
Okie dokie. First email this evening is from Jason Gardner. And he says this: Dear veterans, this is Jason.
Hi, Jason.
I swear I do my best, but since I love Pentiment so much, I decided to play Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh, snap. Speaking of RPGs that people love.
Yeah, not 5 minutes into the game, and 3 dorks want me to go throw shit at someone's house. Of course I refused. I bought it for the medieval murder mystery. Sorry, there are no dragons. I have a new favorite book. It's called Meetings with Remarkable Manuscripts.
Okay,
I highly recommend it.
I love how he just switches topics.
Oh, no,
like suddenly I'm onto something new now.
The only problem is I can't read it. The text is all blacked out. Kind of reminds me of your meetings with my remarkable messages, Jason. I have no idea what that is. Is he making some reference to some redacted political thing? I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about there.
There is a book called Meetings with Remarkable Manuscripts.
Weird. Anyway,
Christophe de Amel.
Thank you for that, Jason, I think.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Okay, next one is from Mark Singh and is What Am I? What am I?
All right, riddle time.
He says, Good evening, boys.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
Welcome. Good evening. Good evening.
Oh, boy, what a year we have had with gaming. Considering how bad 22 was, this year is really making up for it, don't you think? I definitely think
it's a great year. Yeah.
Sure.
I think it's been a bloody brilliant year for games.
I mean, not a great year for playing games for me because I've had the baby, but
a great year.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting Hogwarts Legacy came out this year.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting it. It's such a great bloody
Loads
game.
of good games this year. You keep forgetting that Tears of the Kingdom came out this year.
Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. So many great games. So, a quick game catch. Didn't enjoy Spider-Man 1 and was adamant I wasn't going to buy Spider-Man 2, or at least not at full price. Having seen the trailers, nothing changed my mind until their very last trailer. Something within that trailer piqued my interest. So with Curry's having a 25% discount code offer, I decided to grab it day one, and guess what?
What?
just like Mike, I bloody love it. Bloody love it.
Yeah.
It feels different to me, and I'm so glad I picked it up. Around 8 hours in, so far, I'd easily give it a 9 out of 10 for me.
Definitely.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Also, in the Curry's discount offer was Mario Wonder.
Ooh.
And once again,
Yeah, I was wondering, why aren't you playing this, Chinny?
Baby, I got a baby.
it's got a
Yeah, but you can play
baby,
Superman
baby,
2.
baby.
Spider-Man 2. Also, I could probably
Right.
play Mario Wonder easier because it's on the Switch, isn't it? So I
Spider-Man.
could probably play that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I've also
once
got
again-
but there's
Nintendo
Pikmin
fanboy.
4 though. Pikmin 4 is out this
There is
year.
Pikmin 4.
It's
There is
just-
Pikmin 4. Anyway, once again, Nintendo knock it out of the park. It's just so wonderful.
I see.
See what he
Yeah.
did there? For the Switch console, that's really struggling to run anything half modern these days. Unless you are Nintendo, what a year the Switch has had.
Yeah, it's a good.
I'd go so far as to say that the games they've released this year must go down as probably the best games to be released by a single console maker in history.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
you say?
It's pretty.
I
It's
don't
a,
know.
I mean, it's a strong year. I mean, you
That's
got
a big claim.
you got the Zelda game, which everybody thinks is basically one of the greatest games ever made. You got Pikmin 4, which, from what I believe, is a solid Pikmin game. Then you got Mario Wonder, which is just, just getting 10 out of 10s and
Across the
100%.
board.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Just look at a few that I've picked out that came out this year.
Oh, I was yeah.
Pikmin 4,
Yeah, that's. I need to play it. Yeah.
Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe,
Yeah, Tara's a big fan of Kirby. I'm not a big Kirby fan.
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom,
Still trying to finish the first one.
Metroid Prime Remastered,
Yeah. No, I was never really into.
and
Metroid Prime.
Mario Wonderful 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Right, on to the serious business. What am I?
What am I?
Are you ready? Here we go.
Ready?
Tried to make him a little easier, as I know Eric gets frustrated when he can't work them out.
That's
let
not a
me-
reason to make them easier, just to keep me from having a temper tantrum.
Don't let me down, Eric. Here we go.
I'm trying not to.
Despite having several teeth, I cannot bite. I'm mostly used in the morning, but rarely at night.
I know.
You see, I was going to say a bike chain or a sprocket, but that's
Nope.
probably not right.
A brush.
It's not
Well, the
several
brush doesn't
teeth.
have a teeth.
Teeth. No, it doesn't have teeth, does it? A brush.
But,
What does it-
you're close.
Oh.
Several teeth.
Comb.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding.
Go. Let's have a look. And it is a comb.
I imagine.
Ding, ding.
Is that what they're called? Teeth on a comb?
Yes.
Not on a brush.
No. Those are
No,
called
bristles. Bristles on a brush.
Sure.
Anyway, I know the next one. I know the next one straight away.
Well, why don't you read it and let us see?
Despite having 2 hands, I am unable to scratch myself. What am I?
a
I know.
fat man.
No.
Big fat
Do you
man.
actually? You must know this one, Ginny. I'm guessing.
2 hands. What has 2 hands and 2 hands?
Unable to scratch myself. What am I?
Is it really obvious? Am I just missing?
Yeah,
it?
it's very obvious.
2 Oh, a
Well,
clock. A clock.
A clock, or a watch.
Or a watch, could be a
or
watch.
Yeah.
Could be a watch.
Yeah.
And it is a clock.
Yay.
Yay. Final one, I'm guessing, because it's usually 3. I am the start of everything and the end of everywhere. I am the start of eternity and the end of both time and space. What am I?
Say that again.
Sorry, say it again a little more slowly.
I am the start of everything and the end of everywhere. I am the start of eternity and the end of both time and space.
Okay,
What am
I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Go on then, what is it?
One,
Have you got
2,
it?
3.
Have you got it?
No,
No,
I
have
don't.
you got it?
Oh, whoops, sorry.
Stu, have you got it?
No, I haven't.
Did
Go
you
on.
hear what I said?
No, I know. Yeah, we're right. It's
I'm
got
the
to
start
be.
of everything
It's-
and the end of
it's-
everywhere.
I don't think he heard me.
No, he hasn't.
What? What do you say? What?
You don't know, Stu.
Let's never tell him. Let's just make him
He's
wonder
going to scroll
forever.
down, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he will.
will.
It's a trick question, isn't it?
Well, it's about drugs.
It's about drugs,
Because
yeah.
it makes you feel like you're in
It's
life
guns.
time
It's
and
almost
space.
the answer is almost about
guns.
drugs. Yeah, the
It
almost.
is. It could be,
Yeah.
couldn't it? It could be about E. Yeah, it is a letter E. There you go.
Yeah.
I will finish off with what has 4 letters, sometimes 9 letters, but never has 5 letters. Thank you and good night. So he hasn't given the answer to that. So there you go.
Sorry, say it again.
What has 4 letters, sometimes 9 letters, but never has 5 letters? don't know. I'll leave that one with you.
Yes. No, I see what you did there.
Okay.
Don't know.
Don't know. Right.
I know.
Oh, of course.
But I'm not going to tell you.
Well,
And
you
I'm not
don't
going
have
to tell
to.
anybody else
That's
either.
fine.
If you want to know, write in or holler at me at Threads, and I'll tell you. If
Right.
you can include the original, because I don't remember exactly what it is, but I'll tell you.
Anyway, we have got speak pipes
Anyway.
and the horror quiz, kind of just said, which
Woo,
is
Speak
comprised
Pipes quiz, all
of
sorts of
strange
stuff.
Pipe, it's the way to leave a message.
Oh, I get it.
Good.
What has 4
Don't
letters?
tell
and-
Stu.
I
Don't
got it.
tell Stu.
I got it. I got it.
All right. So there's the one from Dan. Is that the only non-quiz
Yeah,
one?
no. That's the only other one other than the quiz one.
So it's the only non-Dan quiz one.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. All right. So Dan, here we go. Thank you, Dan.
Here we go.
Let's listen to the Speak Pipe. It's 1:15.
Hi guys, evening or morning in this case, as I'm leaving a speak pipe after coming into work for the first morning after getting back from Japan last night. This might be a double speak pipe, but it depends
Bit
on how long
later,
it takes me
Duke.
to explain it.
I wish I could turn it up, but I
Oh,
can't. Speak
okay.
Pipe doesn't have volume controls. I
All
was
right,
going to
sorry.
boost it afterwards, but you went and talked, so I have to
Sorry.
rewind it. It's okay. Just shush.
I'm just catching up on all my podcasts. I've been away for 9 days, so yours was the first, and I had to chuckle to myself a little bit at the karaoke conversation because this past week in Tokyo I had my own karaoke experience. Now I don't know if any of you know about the karaoke culture out in Asia, but it's quite something. The way they set it out is there are businesses that just have floors and floors and floors of karaoke rooms. You tell them how many people are in your party, and then they take you to a room. So I went in with my girlfriend, and we paid for an hour's karaoke, and we got let in, given our microphones. We got sat down, we had a drink, and proceeded to belt out all of our favorite songs. I can't sing. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible singer. But because you're in a private room, and everyone else in every other private room, you can hear them when you're in the corridor, but you can't really hear anybody else when you're in your room. It kind of gives you a little bit more freedom to just belt things out, even if you're a terrible singer.
There you go.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
There you go. Karaoke
Yeah.
rooms. Now then, Chinny, we remember this well, don't we? Because we went in one of these in Preston. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
We did at Tang's Chinese restaurant, and they had karaoke rooms upstairs.
Yeah.
And Jake and Doug Judy did in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have done that, but not in.
Trivia question for Amar. What song did they sing?
Yeah, what song did they sing? By the way, we've got a new chatter in the Twitch channel that I've not seen before, which is Stop Banana Racism.
Yeah.
Hi, Stop Banana Racism. What a weird name
He
you
says,
have.
"Hello, Bloods."
I'm sure
So there
we've
you go.
seen him
Hello.
before.
Have you? I
Or
don't
her.
remember Stop Banana Racism.
I've seen that name before.
I've
Have
never
you?
even. This is my first interaction. even
Anyway,
hearing
let's
Banana
get on
Racism.
because come on, people. I'm excited for the horror Halloween quiz. 'cause
Thanks,
it's-
Dan, for the speak pipe.
Yeah, thank
What else
you.
did I
It's
say? I'll
a
say it.
Halloween.
It's time for the quiz. It's time for the quiz. We play the shitty sound clip when it's time for the quiz.
I will say that, like, who cares if you're a good singer or not? The whole point is that you just have fun and, like,
yeah,
everybody just gives it a whirl.
Just belt it out, regardless of
Yeah,
how rubbish
you
you
know,
are.
sing like no one can hear you.
Exactly.
Dance like no one's watching.
There you go.
Yeah, so here comes the speak pipe part 1 of the quiz, baby. It's a Halloween quiz, something. I don't know. Here we go. Sinner Diesel. I see what he did there.
Hey, Veteran Gamers, it's Sinner Diesel here. I'm the evil twin brother of Saint Diesel.
He doesn't sound very evil, but you know what?
No, he sounds very
He's not
similar
evil.
as well.
Too well today, so he's asked me naturally to do his horror movie quiz for him. And I'm going to give you 16 clues, each clue followed by the answer. And I'm going to set you some targets. 1 to 7 correct, your Scream Queens. 8 to 11 correct, your malevolent entities. And if you get 12 to 16 correct, your horror icons.
Good
So
God,
let's
there's
get
a lot of questions here.
Yes, we got to hurry up and get to them.
1979 sci-fi horror Alien was set on which spaceship?
Is it the Nosferatu?
No.
Is it not? It's something like that. It's something very similar to that.
Oh, I can't remember.
It's not
I
the
used to know the
Nosferatu.
name of the company that sent them, but I can't.
It's
I'm not
something
thinking
like
of
that. It sounds similar to that. That's the.
Why can't he ask an
vampire, isn't
easier
it?
question like, what part of the body did the aliens
No,
spurt out of?
I feel like I know this.
Well, you obviously don't.
I
Maybe you
do.
but I don't know.
I will do as soon as I hear it, but it's
Yeah,
something.
Chinny?
It's something
No
like
idea.
that.
You all
No idea.
know
Is it
movie things?
Ishimura?
No, the
It's
Ishimura.
something
The one
like-
in Dead Space?
Is that the one in Dead Space? That's
Yeah.
probably because I've been playing it recently.
No,
But
no,
it's
no.
something like it is something similar to sounding to that. It begins with an N. I'm almost positive.
Okay.
Nebuchadnezzar.
No, I don't think
There
it
you
is.
go.
Are you
Oh,
keeping score, by the way, Duke? Not that we got
I
this
will.
one right.
I will do. When we have it, when we get one right, I'll put
Yeah,
a
we
little
go,
hash
alright.
mark down.
Go.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
And you'll be spitting acid blood if you didn't see the Nostromo.
Ah,
I was so
Nostromo, you were close,
close.
but not close enough. 0.
Oh,
is
come
our
on.
score
I
right
was
now.
very
We are
close.
not
to
even going
that.
to be scream queens at
I
this
knew
rate.
it was an N. I knew it
Yeah.
sounded like Nosferatu. It was Nostromo.
Okay, here comes the next one.
Number 2, James Whale directed 1930s horror classics, Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. But which actor played the monster?
Hey, I know this.
Boris Karloff, of course.
Boris Karloff, that's right. Whoop, whoop. And good on you for not saying who played Frankenstein, because that's the name of the doctor, not the monster.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And you'd be all cut up if you didn't say Boris Karloff.
So we have 1 point. We're scream queens.
Number 3, Camp Crystal Lake started as the location for which long-running horror
Oh, come
movie
on.
franchise?
Seriously?
Come
Even I
on.
know this, and I know nothing about horror
Friday
movies.
the
Come on.
13th, of course.
Come on,
Friday.
Shelley.
Friday
Yeah.
the 13th.
And I know that in part because, I mean, I knew it anyway, but the Flophouse recently did Friday, Jason Takes Manhattan, which sounds like a
I just
great
the
film.
scene I always remember from the original Friday the 13th was Kevin Bacon getting like an arrowhead through the neck or whatever.
Well, yeah.
Pokes out the other
Everyone loves
side.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, especially when he's being
Okay.
killed. There you go.
Ginny, you there? Everything okay? You just
Yeah,
falling asleep?
I am running on low here. If
Yeah,
I was
Don't worry,
let's get
we've
done
got
here.
this, man.
if I
We've
was
got
a
it.
phone,
Yeah.
I would be on red, like it's power reserve mode right now.
There
yeah.
you go.
And I'm sure you weren't unlucky, and you said Friday the 13th.
Ah,
Number 4, Who Goes There was a novel turned into classic horror movies in 1951 and 1982, with a prequel movie released in 2011. But what was the name common to all three?
Who Goes There? 1950 and then 1980? What? That's crazy. I can't think of a movie that.
I have no
that remade
idea.
like that.
It'll be something that we should know.
I mean, I'm thinking Psycho because that had a remake, but it's not Psycho, I don't think, because it was based on the book Psycho.
Yeah, I don't think
I
it
don't
was
know.
based
I'm
on that.
stumped. Stu?
So just play it again. Play it again. Let me hear
Alright,
what
I'll see if I
years.
can
What
find where it
years?
starts. Okay, rewinding.
And
Sorry, it didn't rewind. It's not rewinding. Oh, there we go.
you
Okay.
weren't unlucky, and you said Friday
Okay, here we
the
go.
13th.
It's coming up here.
Number 4, Who Goes There was a novel turned into classic horror movies in 1951 and 1982, with a prequel movie released in 2011. But what was the name common to all three?
I'm trying to bloody think what came out in 2011 that'll tie all those three together.
Is it
Not The Exorcist.
No, it's not, because that's again the book's called The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. So
not The
it's definitely
Shining?
not
Is
that.
it?
No,
that's based on The Shining.
No, and then there was Doctor Sleep, which is obviously the sequel to The Shining, but
That's a sequel, and
but that's a
the
sequel.
book was
That's
called The
nothing to do
Shining.
with it's
Yeah.
called. And
I don't know.
obviously Stephen King wasn't writing books in 1951.
Was he not?
Certainly not
No.
that one.
He started about 1970. Stephen King writing stories.
Lazy. What didn't he write when
Yeah,
he
he
was
was a lazy
sperm?
child.
I'm gonna kick myself when I hear this. I'm
Yeah,
bloody
you
sure
are. Here we
of
go.
it.
Here comes the answer.
I was there.
And don't feel turned inside out if you didn't see The Thing.
Yeah, I never knew that. I wouldn't have known it, so that I'm not that bothered.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I
have
got
known.
an interesting fact about the modern version of the Thing. You know the
Go
modern
ahead.
film. So they
Yeah,
did. So the reason
John
why
Carpenter.
the original, well, the 80s movie, The Thing, was so cool was all the practical effects. Remember all the practical effects?
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Sure, of course.
Now
And the animatronics.
with the remake, it's all CGI. But did you know that they actually made practical effects for everything? But then the producers came in and says, "No, we need to use CGI." And
Really?
They painted all
Wow.
over it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it made it look worse because all the
Awful.
practical stuff looked better.
Well, it probably did. Probably did. That's how
Okay.
it should have been.
Yeah. All right, here's part 2 of the quiz. We're doing great so far. 2 out of 4.
Well, I wouldn't have got that one.
Well, we're gonna get
So,
more of these
I
coming
should have
up,
got
so here we go.
Nostromo though. I'm quite annoyed
Thinking
with
hats
myself.
on, people.
Clue number 5. Which long-running horror franchise, starting in 1988, featured characters Charles Lee Ray and Andy Barclay?
Well, I'm not a horror movie guy, so I'm amazed I haven't
No, I
gotten
don't
any of
like
these.
horror movies really.
No horror games, no horror movies. Stu, you're on your own here. John Lee Gay and Buddy franchise, whatever.
Which long-running horror franchise, starting in 1988, featured characters Charles Lee Ray and Andy Barclay?
Andy Barclay.
I mean, we don't have too many to choose from, right? I said Friday 13th. That's not it. Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Chucky.
Evil Dead. Could be Evil Dead.
1988. What started in 1988?
I know I was going to say. See, I thought Texas
not a
Chainsaw
long-running
Chainsaw Massacre, but I think that was
Yeah,
before.
maybe. No.
I feel like that was before 88 though.
That was the
It might have
70s. Texas
been.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that was way
Yeah,
before
I think you're right. But those names
Way
sound like it could be
before.
there. I don't know.
Scream is 90s,
useless.
isn't it? Scream is 90s.
Yeah, Scream started in the 90s.
Is
I
the
mean,
Chu-
we're talking late 80s here.
Chucky's 90s as well, isn't it? Chucky.
I think the first Child's Play came in about 91, 92, somewhere
Yeah,
around there.
So it wouldn't be that many.
No, I'm trying to think what came out just before the 90s and is still going now, like a long running franchise
Yeah. No, I can't think.
that sort of came out that far. I'm stumped, to be honest. I'm quite annoyed at myself. I should be getting these. I'll probably obviously know it when I hear it, but I don't recognize the character names at all.
But I don't know. We're stumped.
All right, we ready for the answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the answer is literally Child's Play.
Ah,
Oh, he
damn,
said
you had
it.
it, and then you argued
said
yourself
it.
out of a point. Dang it. Oh well.
Yeah, I was never a fan of Child's Play. I only watched the first one. So I've never watched any of the others.
So let me know when you want me to hit play.
Okay, so we go.
Infamous horror movie had prequels and sequels named Dominion, Heretic, and The Beginning.
I want to say it's Omen. The Omen
No, I think it's Exorcist, isn't it? Is it?
could be. I'm not. I don't feel at all confident. So let's go with Exorcist. Okay.
And you don't really lose your head if you didn't say The Exorcist.
Hey, look at Stu getting us a point. Whoop whoop. Only 5 more, and we'll be the movie Monster Entities or whatever it is.
The
I wrote down
minimum.
the initials. ME.
Number 7. Bram Stoker's Dracula was released in 1992.
That movie sucked. It was
Yeah,
my
I
one and
hated
only
that.
blind
Hated
date,
that
and
movie.
I hated the movie, and
I
it.
hated that movie.
Bad experience, bad night.
Awful.
But who was the director?
Wait,
Uh,
what? We're too busy complaining.
Say
Sorry.
The
Playing
Exorcist.
it again.
Number 7.
So
Bram Stoker's Dracula was released in 1992. But who was the director?
Wasn't it Martin Scorsese? It was something like that, wasn't it? Or Francis Ford Coppola. Was it Francis Ford Coppola?
I think it might have been Coppola. Yeah.
I think it was Francis Ford Coppola, wasn't it?
Let's try it.
And I'm sure you all sunk your teeth into this one and came up with Francis Ford Coppola.
Hey, 4. Now what?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's a bloody good
us.
job I'm here, is what I'm saying.
It's Gary Oldman, isn't it? Gary
Yeah,
Oldman.
it was awful. It was so
Oldman, Keanu
boring.
Reeves. It
So
was bad.
boring. It's so boring.
I wonder if it would be as bad as I remember.
Probably
I
is.
do remember. It wasn't as bad as Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That movie was garbage.
Yeah, a lot of these are. Mind you, the book. Have you ever read Bram Stoker's
Yeah,
Dracula?
Dracula's a good book.
I found it boring. I found the book
What?
really
You're
boring.
boring.
It's boring.
Whatever. You're boring.
Number 8. Which influential horror movie shockingly killed off the main character, Marion Crane, before the halfway point of the movie?
Scream?
Crane.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is that
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore's
Barrymore?
character?
I don't
I'm going to go with that. I
Because that
think
was the
it's-
whole.
Okay.
Yeah.
niche-
But to be fair, it wasn't even anywhere near the halfway. It was the
No, it was
first
the- it was the
20
first scene,
minutes.
wasn't it? Yeah.
First
Yeah,
20 minutes of the film, she was killed.
Well, it's well before halfway. Yeah.
Yeah, it's well before.
And
I'm
you were
going
showered
Scream.
with praise if you said Psycho.
Oh, of
snap!
course.
Whoops.
Of course.
Ah.
Damn it. Yeah, she
if I
gets
thought
killed
about it,
pretty
I
good.
might have gotten that. But
Yeah, we should have thought about it a bit. We were too quick
Number
then.
9. Who directed 1981's horror comedy An American Werewolf in London?
I know this
John
is-
Landis.
John
Landis.
Yeah, John
John
Landis.
Landis. Yeah, good thing I'm here.
Because he also did the Thriller video as well for Michael Jackson. There you go.
Because this is Thriller. Thriller night.
Yeah.
And I'm sure no one will rip your throat out if you didn't say John Landis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
finally
have got
a
that if
horror
you hadn't been
question.
so quick then, Duke. You were so fast.
Sure. Well, as the ladies always say, I am the fastest man they've ever met.
The only,
Yeah, that's
the only film
probably
that
not
he
a good
made
thing.
that matters was Trading Places. It's only one.
That's a
Yeah,
great
American Werewolf is a good film, by the way.
Beverly Hills Cop 3 as well. Didn't he?
movie.
Actually, do you know what?
episode of-
Every film he's made has been pretty good, can we just say?
There's an episode of 30 Rock when he goes, but you just give up like that? I was going to Trading Places you. And then Hannibal Buress shows up in rags. He's like, I just got bailed out of prison. Someone said I should come up here. And he just waves him off the screen. Anyway, here comes the next one.
Which 1968 horror movie, directed by Roman Polanski, was nominated twice, winning once for Oscars?
I know, but I hate Roman Polanski. Fuck
What
that
was
guy.
what was say that again? What was that one?
A 1968 movie directed by Roman Polanski, nominated twice and winning one Oscar. I'm pretty sure. Well, it's the only horror movie I know he made.
Isn't he like this? He's a sex offender, isn't he? Roman Polanski?
He is a horrifying sex offender. Of children.
That wasn't Rosemary's Baby, was it?
Yes, it was Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, Rosemary's Baby, isn't it? Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm on fire tonight. Can I
You
just
are on
say?
fire. Look at Stu go. Go ahead. Go, Stu. It's your birthday.
Yeah.
And after a pregnant pause,
Ah.
it was
there you go.
Rosemary's Baby.
See what you did there.
There you go.
All right, so we got 6 so far. We just got to get 2 more, and we're in the
That's a
second
good movie,
tier
by the
of-
way. Rosemary's Baby.
It is a good movie. I
It is a
I
good
mean,
movie.
if it hadn't been made by a psychopathic monster.
True.
I mean, I guess it's fitting that he made a movie about a psychopathic monster. All right, so we need 2 more, and we got like 6 more clues. Here we go. We can do this.
Number 11. Which 1999 movie was set in the location of Burkittsville?
I feel like there's only one. Well, there's 2 other horror movies I know. Well, no, there's a few.
Well, 1999 movie though. This is quite sort of just
Too
on the
late
edge
for
of the
Silence of the
two.
Lambs, which is one of the only
Is it
other
like
ones I know.
Final Destination or something like that?
Oh, it could be, you know.
Wasn't Saw 99, or was that earlier in the 90s?
No, that was 2000 and something. So
It's not. I know what you
First
did
Saw
last.
movie
Is it?
was
It's not. Isn't it? Is it? Could it be? I know what you did last summer.
Could be. I don't know these things.
It's one of those. It's going to be one of those, Ginny. It's going to be either.
So
Final
Final
Destination.
Destination, or I Know What You Did.
I feel
hold
like
on.
it could. I feel like it's
Final
more
Destination
likely.
moves around a lot. I think I Know What You Did is more like.
Yeah, I was going to say. I feel it could be more likely, but it's like a seaside town,
No,
though.
hold
Is
on,
it?
hold on. Look, so Final Destination came out when I was at. Oh, it could have been 99. I think Final Destination came out 2000, so I think it's too late.
I think it could be. I know what you did last summer.
No, that came after Final Destination.
Did it?
So I don't think it's either one.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
I'm just trying to think what other movies came out around that time.
This is the part of the show where there's dead space, dead
Wow.
silence.
Remake with lesbians. Don't know. I don't know.
Burkittsville.
I don't think it. I thought it was. I thought I had a winner with Final Destination, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nope. All right, we'll just carry on.
Yeah, no, I think we're going. Oh no!
Oh.
No, wasn't it?
Oh.
What's the one with the worms underground?
Tremors?
Tremors. Is it not Tremors?
I don't know.
That's too old, isn't it? Tremors.
I don't know.
It's like
I'm
90.
pretty
Yeah,
sure that
probably
was
not.
older.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you're right. Well, I'm
All
going to
right,
stick
let's
with.
find out.
With
We're
I know
gonna,
what you
let's
did
say
last summer.
something because
I
otherwise
know what
we
you
won't
did
get
last
it right.
summer.
Even if
'cause
we...
I can't.
Okay, we're gonna go with I Know What You Did.
I've got no other ideas.
All right, zip it.
You seen the wood for the trees and answered The Blair Witch Project.
You know what? I
of
should have
course it
gotten that because damn it, 1999. I was in Watsonville, California. It's the only movie I saw while I was there, and it was that. I should have known
Shoulda
that.
got that.
Dude,
Shoulda got
Clive,
that.
you've ruined my day.
Yeah,
Shoulda
ruined
got that.
Christmas.
Number 12. Stanley Kubrick's 1980 movie of The Shining
Oh yeah,
was set in which building?
the hotel.
Yeah, it's the Overlook.
It's just called the hotel.
No, the
Which one?
Overlook. It's the Overlook Hotel.
Sure, let's call it that. It's as good a word as
No,
any.
that's what it's called.
I hope you
That's what you say.
didn't get Johnny to help you with the answer and said the Overlook Hotel.
All right, people, we got 7.
Come
That's
on,
Scream
dude.
Queens.
Fucking, you need
One
to
more.
trust in my knowledge of horror films, Neely.
Yeah, I trusted you about. I know what you did last summer, and instead it was
Yeah,
the Blair
I
Project.
knew
of
that wasn't
witches.
right. I knew it wasn't right,
Well, didn't know it that much.
but yeah, should have got
Number
that.
13. Which 1996 horror fantasy movie starred Michael J. Fox?
Horror fan.
This was Teen Werewolf, or what was it
No,
called?
Teen Wolf was an
Teen
80s
Wolf.
movie.
No,
Oh,
there's
is it
another
not?
one. There's
No, it
another
was the
one,
80s.
and it was a Peter Jackson
It
movie.
was not Teen Wolf. I
It was a
promise you, $100,000. It was
No,
not.
no,
Teen
there's a
Wolf.
Peter Jackson movie that started Michael J. Fox.
Okay.
Is it like it's not like Sleepers or something like that, or it's like a simple name?
Well, Sleepers is a movie that has a bunch of cool actors, but it's not Michael J. Fox, and it's not a horror movie. It's about kids who sent a baby carriage down steps or something. I don't remember what the fuck. It was really weird.
There's a horror movie starring Michael J. Fox, directed by.
Well, that's what's in the clue here.
Directed by Peter Jackson. Directed by Peter
Okay,
Jackson.
Dead
and
Alive.
It's one word, and I can't remember what it is for the life of me.
I blame
Brain
your
Dead.
baby.
No.
Baby's the reason we're losing this quiz.
I have no idea.
I don't want to be a
didn't
Scream Queen all my life. I want to
Other
be a
than Teen
medieval
Wolf,
entity.
I didn't even know it'd be.
It's not Teen Wolf. God damn it.
Listen, I'm saying other
Did
than
I mention I got Pez candies for my Maggie Simpson
Oh my
Pez
God.
dispenser?
Other than Teen Wolf, I didn't know he'd been in another horror type movie, so that's the only one I knew.
Teen
he'd
Wolf's
been.
not even a horror movie. It's a basketball
Well,
comedy.
Anyway, I give up. I have no idea what he's been.
Kenny,
in other
give
than
us
that.
a name. Give us a word. We're not saying Sleepers. It's not Sleepers.
It's not Sleepers. Dave.
What, Flatliners. Is it Flatliners? No.
No,
No,
That's
he
not
isn't in
him.
that. He's not in that.
That was like the other nerdy whatever. I'm playing it.
Just play it.
You weren't too scared to answer. I'm sure you said The Frighteners.
The Frighteners.
Oh, I vaguely
Frighteners.
remember.
It was
That's
that.
not a horror film. It
I
was
don't know nothing about
terrible.
nothing.
It was fucking
Chinny ought to
awful.
know because
I
he's a
have
Michael J.
seen it.
Fox stan.
I have seen it, but it was terrible.
I knew it was something.
You
was
heard it here
awful.
first, folks.
I
He
knew
knew it was something.
Yeah, and it was
Number
something.
14. Which actor was eaten by a blood-soaked bed in 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street?
Who was eaten by a blood
It was River Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
He was from our hometown in Gainesville, Florida. Him and Tom Petty.
If you didn't fall asleep first, I'm sure you said Johnny Depp.
Oh, Johnny Depp.
Stuart!
Wrong actor.
Stu.
God damn it. I believe you, Amber. All
Damn it.
right. What's next?
Number 15. A real-life married couple inspired the Conjuring and Annabelle movie universes, but what were their names?
What?
Not a clue. I've never even seen The Conjuring, so it's not
What?
my thing.
God damn,
Never
man.
seen
These suddenly
it.
got real hard.
No, I
Never
don't know.
seen it.
I don't know. I couldn't even come. John and Jane Doe. Bonnie Clyde and Freddie Jackass.
Yeah, I've not a clue.
We don't know. Chinny's like
And I'm sure there
comatose.
was no paranormal intervention when you said Lorraine and Ed Warren.
Oh,
Never
yeah,
heard
I
of
totally
it.
knew that.
That's the last one. Our last chance. We're gonna
No,
mess
it's
it up. We're
16
gonna
questions.
be
He
Scream
said the
Queens
16
forever.
questions.
He just said the last one.
Oh.
Clue number 16. From which much-loved horror movie comes the following quote? When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Is
that
that,
might be Evil Dead.
is that
too.
Evil Dead? I think that's
I think
Evil
it might
Dead
be
too.
Evil Dead.
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's try it. Fingers crossed. I don't want to be a
Fingers
Scream
crossed.
Queen. I want to be a mystical entity.
Fingers
I know we have
crossed.
had to go out do a bit of shopping before he came back and answered George A. Romero's.
Oh, I did think
fuck!
I was going to say, Dave. I was
We're
going to say, Dawn.
losers.
Night of the Living Dead, but,
Oh man.
but then I thought it was a trick question. I'm like, no, it's definitely gonna be-
her. God
Oh,
damn it.
Bunch
We
We
of
did
suck.
terrible. We should have done way better than that.
I mean, 7 isn't atrocious, but it's just shy of. If I would have gotten 5, I'd be happier because I was, well, I knew we
Yeah.
wouldn't get very far. But it was just shy.
We
of
should
the
have definitely
next
got the Blair
category.
Witch Projects, and I should have definitely
Yeah,
got
we should have.
Nostromo.
I hate
was
everything,
so close.
especially myself.
I knew it began with an M.
I'm just kidding. I don't hate everything or anything.
Well, there you go. That's it, boys.
There you go. Thank you, Sinner
Thank
Diesel. We
you,
appreciate it. It was
we
a fun
did.
quiz.
I did enjoy it,
even though we suck.
We didn't do as well as I think we should have done.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm old now.
Oh,
I don't
well.
remember stuff as well as I used to. That's my
Yeah.
excuse anyway. Right, on that note,
Right.
we need to do some shout outs and get the hell out of here.
Hell out of here.
So, I don't know. Chinny, you go first before you fall asleep, I think is a good idea.
I will shout out a TV show
Oh, okay.
called
Go on.
you might know what this is, Stu.
Go on.
Whitehouse and Mortimer Gone Fishing.
Oh, I've seen it. I've never seen it though.
I'll tell
It's
you what.
probably, can I just say, it's probably the sort of thing I'd like.
I'll tell you what.
Because I like anything like that weird stuff.
It's I hate fishing, just for the record.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate fishing. But these are two British comedy legends
Yeah, just chatting.
just being best buds, and it shows you how special and quick and brilliant Bob Mortimer is as a comedian, and also how lovely they are as friends. And it's a very wholesome, very easy watch, very good, sometimes quite sad actually. And Stu, it
Yeah.
actually all centres around heart conditions because they both had serious heart conditions.
Oh,
And
there you go.
Bob Mortimer went into depression after his heart. He had a quadruple bypass.
Yeah.
Went into depression, wouldn't come out of the house, and Paul Whitehouse and Bob Mortimer's wife conjured up a plan to get him out and took him fishing, and that's how the show started.
It is weird. Can I just say, it is weird how different people deal with stuff like this. Because for me, I'm just doing whatever I can to just
Yeah,
continue.
but you're
as
northern,
normal.
ain't you? You know what I mean?
Because he's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm just cracking on with it.
But I
so
think everybody should watch this show. It's just two buds hanging out, and
Yeah.
it's brilliant. I love it so much, and it's Duke. I think you would really like it as well. This show because
Could be.
it's feel good, it's happy, it's sad, it's about life, it's about existing, it's funny, it's heartfelt, it's great. And these two, there aren't many people over the age of 30 from Britain that these two people haven't made laugh. That they've made everybody laugh.
Oh, definitely.
So like Bob Mortimer from Shooting Stars and Dick and
Yeah.
Bob, and then you got Paul Whitehouse who's like
Big night. Hey, who can forget a big night out?
Big Night Out, and then Harry Enfield and Chums and the Fast Show, and just absolute comedy.
What's on the end of
legends.
the stick, Vic?
Comedy legends.
They are.
So, yeah, and Bob talks a lot about his depression and what he's gone through and stuff, and he's suffered a lot. But he's such a sweet guy, and you just get this impression that Paul Whitehouse is a nice guy, but kind of like likes himself to himself, whereas Bob is just this lovely, lovely, sweet guy. So please watch it. Obviously, shout out to the fam because today we had Tara's brothers, daughters, and my daughter all in the same room at the same time today for the first time. So
Aw, that's awesome.
The little girl gang cousin was together today, so that
Yay.
was nice.
Yay.
Rosa didn't look too interested because she mostly slept and shat herself, but yeah, it was
Hey,
nice
that
and
sounds like a good way to spend the day for me.
Mhm.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to shout out Sean Thiel in the chat because he says, "Hey boys, T-shirt arrived safely in Australia."
Yay.
Chinny was nice enough to have on there to
No, leave
what's
a
that?
hair on there.
Oh, leave a hair on. I can't see because the bloody heart symbol thing's in the way.
Clone him.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Sean.
Leave a
Clone him.
hair on there. Double the price of the shirt.
Sorry
Cheers.
about
So
that,
it's
Sean. So you've got a hair from my head.
yeah, it's got
Clone
it's
him.
worth more money now,
Yeah.
Chinny. It's
I
worth
do.
more
I
money.
do use a what do you call it? The thing, the roller thing. What do you put on? it?
Yeah, the sticky roller to get anything.
What do you call
off.
that?
A lint roller.
Lint roller. I use a lint roller anymore. I don't know why they have. What can you
Is
do?
what
I
they're
don't know.
called.
Yeah, yeah. So at least you
I'm
know it's
gonna- I'm-
authentic, Sean. It's come from this
Clone him.
very room.
Not that he's
you're
listening,
looking
but
at.
I'm going to shout out the builder who sorted out our conservatory. It's nearly finished,
It's
by the
nearly
way.
finished. Yeah.
Just needs paint. Well, it needs
Right.
the electrics doing, and then I've got to paint it and put a new floor down. But other than that, it's nearly done.
What floor are you thinking of?
So it'll be done in 3
We've just,
months
to be
then.
fair, we haven't got them. We've got just some nice laminate because we're going to change it again when we do the kitchen. So there's no point putting anything mega expensive down. because it's going to probably only be for a couple of years.
Good.
Okay.
But yeah, keeping it cheap. But yeah, it's done. It's insulated. It's lovely. The bifolds are brilliant. I love it. So there you go.
Great.
So there you go. Chinny, over to you.
No, I've done it.
Over to you,
Duke. Did his. Hello.
Dookie.
I will shout out everyone in the chat. Tainted Brain, Sean Deal, Tom Lewis, Lee Griggs, Mr. Designs, James Bevan. Over on Twitch, we got Hardly Dan, Banana Racism, Lord, and everybody else who makes our lives better by being part of this community. I'm looking at you there, Sinner Sains, and Jason Gallagher, and Tim Kelly, and Amar, and the Duchess, and Rosa the Baby, and Tara, and Millie, and Kay, and everybody who can hear my voice. You rock! Thank you for listening to us.
Shout out to Stu for sending
Stu's hate crime.
Shout out to Stu for sending Rosa some presents this week.
Yes.
Stu sent Rosa some nice Adidas trainers.
Sweet.
And, which is her first pair of trainers that she owns, and also a little Veteran Gamers baby vest, which she's too small for at the moment. But when she's big enough, I'll put her in it and I'll take a picture and I'll put it on the show.
Yeah, it had to be done. It had to be done. She needs some merch.
Yeah, she's
needs
got
some
merch. Yeah.
Needs some merch.
All right.
And that's it, I think.
Yeah.
Let's get out of
here.
I will hire a talented fashion designer to create original uniforms for my Legions of Terror, as opposed to some cheap knockoffs that make them look like Nazi stormtroopers.
Okay.
Okay.
Save the rest of them for next week.
5 bathrooms.
Yeah, all right, here we go, people. That's it. Thank you for watching.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you just switch off the television set and go and do something less boring instead? Sitting at home watching TV, heard I'm so good to me.
No more video games because they cause stress and they raise your heart rate.
More stress than being a police officer?
Jake, I've seen you play Mario Party.
Wario cheats! I'm just saying about Wario cheats.
That was a farcical sound effect.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. You heard it here, people.
Okie dokie. That's
You
it
also
for
heard
the
this
week.
here.
Oh,
We're not
God,
giving you money.
Wow, is that it?
Yeah. All right,
Cool.
we're done?
We're done.
Great.
Radio.
Fuck off, people. Leave
I know,
us alone.
I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm going to go
Yeah.
grade some papers, maybe. I don't know,
Gotta
we'll see.
go.
I finished a